We should be running. So check in a sec. Yeah, we should be running. It's going to take a while for me to check. Unless you one of you both can check on your side.
John Barnes, but John Barnes had to catch hell. Man's throwing bananas.
Good. Cool. Sound good?
You say, you good? Yeah. Call hello,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Yahweh,
Yahushai,
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Yahweh.
Dash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honor to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. You know, man, listen, man, the whole Jacob, in fact, before we even get them precepts as well, also whole second and sixth chapter, man. The whole beef between Jacob and Esau is coming to a head. You know, these Edomites are getting roused up in the spirit against Jacob, right? You know, that hatred that they've always had is coming back to the forefront and it's becoming more and more hostile, right? These Edomites, as usual, right, as they usually do, are playing the victim. And you know, listen, but the most dangerous Edomite is the Edomite that plays the victim because now they're justified to do what they really want to do, which is to play out the role of Cain in the earth, to be the spare, to be the bloodshedder, to be the murderer and the savage that they really are. But they have to do mental gymnastics and invent a situation where they're the good guy. They're, I'm being a racist demon because, and this is what you see happening. And we spoke about this. We spoke about the era of political correctness, how the politically correct era was a smokescreen. And the hatred and the evil of Esau wasn't wiped away. It was just they were holding their tongue. We always go back to what was that lady's name that did the gollywog thing? Do you remember?
Oh,
she got caught on the mic, and she said something about gollywog.
Yeah, I don't remember.
What was her name? And then she got cancelled. This is way back. And then she said, I don't know what the problem is. We all say it. So basically, what she was exposing is like, yeah, we talk like this amongst ourselves. Yeah. But obviously, it's not politically correct. Yeah. It's not politically correct to say these things in public. And it was Esau that did that because he was gaslighting his own people, but at the same time putting Jake to sleep. And it's something that James O'Brien was talking about. James O'Brien was talking about, in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, right? Britain was fully racist. You talk to any Jake, you talk to any Elam about living in the UK through the prior to the 90s. You'd be walking down the road and a man in the car would just go, oh nigga, or you know what I mean?
What was it? Trevor Noah. He made a point on one of his podcasts. It was, and he's being facetious, but it was like, if you go to South Africa, you don't meet anyone that was pro apartheid. And what he meant by that is like you'll see them and no mate, no, like I was always backing. But that was a system. So it's like, where did all of those people go?
They're still here. They're still there. They're still here. They still had those ideas, but it was pent up. And then Esau started doing things like race swapping characters on the TV, putting bare black people in presentation roles on the TV. And that was all about gaslighting these Edomites to get more angry and more angry. And we told you, listen, the era of political correctness is over. They're going to bring back racism to the mainstream. It's going to come back mainstream, and they're going to feel justified to do that. You're going to have scientific racism coming back. Remember, we did the videos. And what do you see everyone talking about? IQ, crime statistics. All that stuff is coming back. DEI. All that stuff is coming back to the forefront. Esau is just getting hateful.
Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. If thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
So the scripture said that Esau has had a perpetual hatred. And a lot of our people fell for the political correctness era. because they felt like things were changing, things were getting better. Oh, it's not like how it used to be. We're talking about from the late 90s through the 2000s. It was politically correct. You ain't gonna walk through the street and hear no one call you a nigger or nothing like that, or blackie or any of these terms. Yeah, they'll say mixed race. They won't say half caste. It's all politically correct, right? But guess what? That political correct era is over. Now the Edomites are like, well, we are, you know, them demon, you know, what's a movie and they'll make a character be. My only character flaw is I'm too nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what these Edomites are saying. If you go online, Edomites are saying we're too merciful, we're too compassionate. Everyone's taking advantage of us. Feel victim mindset, bro.
Through on what you were saying about how Jake fell for the okie doke, right? Because it really, when you look at it, you could still see a lot of it. The reason, because when you were speaking, I was thinking about. I remember there was one time I was walking with one of my colleagues, blonde-haired, blue-eyed chick from Germany, right? Just a colleague,
Yo, Aaron,
bro. The guy in the white van, he looked at me a certain way. I was like, yeah, I don't fucked up right now.
yeah, they hate. Well, Esau purposely puts on in his adverts, he puts black men with white women, but that's on purpose because subconsciously Edomites are seeing that and they're getting angry, and they're angry, and then soon what you're gonna start seeing is you're gonna start seeing Edomites rise up and kill immigrants or rise up and kill, and it's gonna be justified. You're gonna have a whole bunch of Edomites like, yeah, someone had to do it, and you're seeing it. You see the situations in America. Some of them are psyops where some white woman will be like, yo, and then all of a sudden they got $1 million because Edomites are just giving them money for support, calling them heroes. Oh, that's a hero. They're standing up to the invaders. You know, they're using language like that, calling people invaders and hostiles and all this stuff. Like, oh, we're getting killed. Oh, it's a genocide. They say, oh, we're being genocided. They did because Esau's preparing for blood. What's happening is that the Edomites are there. They're building up that hatred and they're building up that excuse for when they can put hands on Jake. But a lot of you, Drake, we've been telling you that for years. We've been telling you that Esau Edom is a devil. He's your enemy. Don't trust him. Right? But a lot of you are like, oh, nah, you know, not all of them.
Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
There's a lot of simple Jake out there. They believe that this society was going past color. You remember when they put Obama in? Oh, America doesn't see color no more. Yeah. That was all BS, man. But listen, the Jacob and Esau thing is gonna be going on until Esau's destroyed. Esau hates you, Jake. They hate you. They envy you. There can never be a situation where we live peaceably. Just like the Planet of the Apes. They had one movie where man and the ape tried to live side by side and it didn't work, man. It's always going to end in tears, and mainly because Esau Edom is wicked. He's an envious, profane devil.
And it's that envy because it's like for the longest time there was no conversation. You had rich Edomites and then Jake was all the way down there. But as Esau's society is crumbling, as it's ending, you're now starting to see some Jakes are doing better than these Edomites. And Esau hates that. I remember a brother was telling me how one day, he came out the yard and someone had basically let their dog just shit on his front yard. Right? Yeah, because obviously they knew, there's a Jake living there.
That's one of the reasons why they showcase you niggas on the TV. And they have you niggas show off money on the TV. Again, they use that to gaslight their own people. Don't you think they want to see Floyd Mayweather with $1 million on the TV and they're struggling to pay their rent? They're like, well, how is this nigga making? And then it's always like, now you see why a black footballer, they're hating on them for everything because they know how much footballers are earning. They don't really mind if the white boys are earning that money. But when it's a Jake, you better be jumping through every hoop. You better be passion merchant. If you go out there, don't be silky. The Edomites are allowed to be silky and do the Foden thing and just drift into space. And no. If you're a Jake, you must run like Declan Rice. If you don't passion merchant, the whole thing, just run. They're like, well, how much is he getting paid? Because in their mind, you better be doing the most. Like what Was it Rashford? When you
Rashford.
is lazy.
What was it?
Which Rashford
Yeah.
was doing dog shit, yeah. But he ain't the only one. He ain't the only one. There's Edomites out there that's doing the same thing Rashford's doing, but they ain't gonna have the same vitriol and the same hate.
They call him Medina already. After him,
Yeah, because he fed the kids.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
How
So
you
they
got
cursed him out. You know what I'm
him?
saying? Bro, you got man when Kobe Mano had that game, yeah, and he was doing up bits. They man had the day off, yeah. They man went to a basketball game. But the NBA was it, and they were all caning him for that. Oh, he's too arrogant. He's going to a basketball game and that. Bro, this is day off.
Yeah.
So man can't even go to a basketball game on your day off if you're a black player. Rashford can't go on his. He had a few days off. He flew to America to go to a basketball game. He can't do that. Oh, look at him. Look what he's wearing. It's like, what? Bro, it's his job, man.
I remember what was it? The guy Arsenal just bought, man. Not bought and then left. He was Chelsea. He was what, Liverpool, then Chelsea, then Arsenal. What's his name again?
Sterling.
Yeah,
Sterling.
He bought his mum a yard, and that was problematic. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like, what you? It's like, what? She just. But then when the other player, the other Jake, didn't buy his mum a yard house, he just let his mum suffer. There was a problem with that.
Yeah, because they just want you, Jake, to be downtrodden and down bad, and that's it. They want you to be worse off than they are. There's nothing to do with merit. All this DEI talk that they're talking about is bullshit. It's been jobs for the lads for years. It's okay when Esau is doing the fiddle. When Esau is doing the fiddle, all these Edomites do fiddles, and they will accept the fiddle. They're down with nepotism. They're down with jobs for the lads. It happens all the time. Well, you see, well, we could always go back to football. Certain men like Lampard are getting jobs that certain black legends are not getting, and they're failing upwards. It's all good. But then when you start not getting a job for whatever reason, and you see a Jake get the job, now all of a sudden, you know, it's DEI and you're supposed to get the job on merit. You're supposed to be qualified. Bro, meanwhile, these men have been faking their CVs and getting into JP Morgan and all sorts, man. What are we talking about here? Edomites have been faking their CVs. Their uncle been getting them a job. Man's retarded and his uncle got him a job. That's how it's always been. It's actually Jake that have had to be double qualified to even try and get a position. That is the history of the job market in the West, that Jake has been relegated to the jobs nobody wants. Why do you think you got a whole bunch of Jake in transport today? Like, yeah, today, if you work on the transport, you're making peas, yeah? But you got to understand that working on the underground and being a bus driver back in the day was nothing. That's why a lot of Jake and Irish were in those jobs. Same thing with the nurses, right? That's why you had a lot of West Indian. These were undesirable jobs. The news agents. These were undesirable jobs. So the migrants did the undesirable jobs. If they try to go for a desirable job, when you go in there, they're going to look at you and say, oh, he's a black man. And if there's some white boy there, they're just going to choose him. They don't care if his qualifications. So what are you talking about?
That's why you have a whole load of people with English names. When you go at home, they're called one thing, but they got a different name.
But now Esau's the victim. No, it's your whole economy that's going down. So DEI isn't the reason you don't have a job. The reason you don't have a job because your people deindustrialized.
Yeah.
And now there ain't no jobs for you. Yeah. Oh, I applied for 1,000 jobs. Because you're a loser, bro. Yeah. You need a rich uncle. But you ain't got one. So that's your fault.
And then a lot of jobs are being offshore. It was like 66%.
Well, who's offshoring them?
Exactly.
It's your people.
Exactly.
Go on now. Sirach, yeah. Trust not that enemy. No, don't trust these damn devils. These devils are liars. They have no integrity. And this is the problem. They act like they have integrity when it suits them. And that's the nature of a hypocrite. Oh, you should get the job on merit. These men have never been about jobs on merit. They've never been about merit, period. If you're a Jake, you always had to do twice as much. If you're a Jake, you could never have a bad day. If you're a Jake, you could never have a mistake. If you make a mistake as a Jake, then you're incompetent. Yeah. If you make a mistake as an Edomite, you're just having a bad day. And I've seen it. These brothers, anyone that's worked in any kind of setting, know there's Edomites in management, senior management that are winging it. They've absolutely been winging it. They're absolutely incompetent and they get away with it. But the problem is that a Jake won't get away with it. Straight away, they'll be onto him. Oh, this guy's incompetent. He don't deserve his job.
And Esau does this thing where it's like a lot of quote, as they say, they just follow a book, they follow a pattern. So one of the things that Jake really struggles with in this world is in this world, as a Jake, you may see a problem and solve it as a Jake. right? You'd be like, actually, we can kind of do it like this. Then the Edomites, they start bugging up. Look, what are you doing? And then now they look down on you. But these times, what you've done is actually beneficial to the company.
Or they'll steal it.
Or they'll steal it. The example is what was that film, man? 12 Years a Slave, where the guy, where my man.
Where the low IQ Edomite didn't want to accept that Jake knew something he did.
Exactly, and there was a better solution. It was, oh yeah, we could just do it, but because for him, it was like, no, it has to be
Yeah,
this
they
way.
don't want, listen, the system of white supremacy is convinced the low IQ Edomites that every Jake is low IQ to them, so they shouldn't be better. And this is what causes a lot of the problems, because the real life doesn't reflect reality. The fantasy.
Yeah.
So when they see you as smarter than them, they're already angry because how could this guy be smarter than me? He's just an African. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a monkey, like, and it's like, no, bro, that was lies.
Yeah. And as soon as he used a bit of slang, see, I knew he was stupid.
Yeah, that's another thing. They can have slang, they can have accents, they can have slang, and they're not uneducated. It's okay. You have slang, and you it's Ebonics. Bro, we live in England. Most of England do not speak English the way you think. It's not Hugh Grant. You go Newcastle or the Geordies, you go
Gloucester.
Bro, I used to, when I was in Wolverhampton, and used to have these white girls, ER, do that. And I'm like, what the fuck is you talking? What the fuck is this girl talking about? ER, do that. They were lovely girls, but you know, they're cool. Yeah, they're friendly. But ER, do that. So you can say ER, do that, and all that shit, yeah. But if I say what's up, I'm just some uneducated. Hey, get the fuck out of here.
But the worst thing is then when you're not around, they use the same slang.
That's you, yeah. Hypocrites. But the point we're making is this devil is a serpent. Don't forget the Bible calls him that dragon. He's a dangerous individual. We're dealing with Cain. We're not dealing with no little furry animal here. These are ferocious beasts, and they are getting ready to. It ain't only gonna take a few false flags, bro. These men are gonna be ready to go all out. Sure,
Says Sirach 12 and 10, it says, never trust thine enemy.
Esau, Edom is our enemy. They've been our enemy from the very beginning. They've never been our friend. They're not for our good. They've never been for our development. They're not for our edification. They've actually broken our people down. They undermine our people and then pretend like they don't. So imagine for all these years, right? Jacob's been complaining about systemic racism. Now these right wingers, this is how. Let me show you how insane the mind of an Edomite are. The right wingers are the main ones that would say there ain't no systemic racism. Oh, what happened to you? That was 400 years ago. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You're free now. There's no systems working against you. Yeah? Okay. Who are the mans online crying about the system is working against them? It's DEI. They're against the straight boys. No such thing as a straight white. That's come on. We know that don't exist.
But that's why they like the second hole, man. Right.
They're not. There's no. But it's like, oh, the system's working against us. All of a sudden, oh, the Jews. Oh, the Jews. It's the Jews. Ooh, spooky. The Jews. Hold on, wait. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Exactly.
You're not a slave.
Exactly.
You're free now. Now all of a sudden but when we were complaining, stop complaining. You just got a victim mindset. You notice that all of a sudden, who's got the victim mindset now?
Exactly. The example as well. Yeah, no, I did not. The example as well is what was this thing about the drugs? When it was Jake, it was just say no. Just say no. Now it's Edomites hooked on drugs. Now it's a medical. Would you call it a medical? It's a medical situation now. You know.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Chinese now. Oh, it's the Chinese fault.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But when we were saying it's the white man fault, it's these niggas they just want to be poor. They just want to be criminals. It's in their DNA. You get me? But what about you now? What about you? Is it in your DNA? This is what I'm saying about these Edomites. They're hypocrites. They will twist and turn. They're the masters of mental gymnastics. They're the masters of confusion. Because these men are the most whiniest.
Yeah. Oh, it's just sort of carefully with tears, man. Yeah. This man knows how to cry. And with that story, it's like, wait there, he sold it. Yeah. Right? He sold his birthright. right? And then he had the nerve to be like, he basically tried to blame it on Jacob.
And they tried to kill him.
Oh, that's good. It's like, bro, you sold it.
This is why we call you Edomites two-time losers, because the least of your people ain't crying.
Yeah.
They ain't crying, you know. But you're two-time losers, man, because you're nothing. You are the one.
You want our country, man. It was never your country to begin with.
Exactly that.
You used to be in the mines, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You used to benefit of the workings of the elite. Now you no longer benefit at any level.
so you want to put flags up.
Made in China.
Whose fault was that? Your own peoples, man.
Yeah, it's over, man. It's because you Edomites are not civilized as you thought you were. You're just the same. You had a image of being better, being progressive. You sold the lie that under your rulership, things become more equal and whoa, it's not going to be like them feudalized days. Oh, you know the dark ages where you just had kings and nobles and they owned everything and everyone else was a peasant. We won't be like that no more. What do you think it is? What do you think it's going like that?
Just say the thing that was then is now.
Yeah,
It's the same. Everything just repeats itself.
you're an oppressor. Listen, you Edomite, your only form of civilization you could create is oppressive. This is the fact. It's oppressive. It's deceitful.
Yeah.
That's why you got Jim Ratcliffe coming on the TV trying to be a man of the people, and Elon Musk is a man of the people.
All these rich people,
All these multi-billionaires, they're men and they're pen of the people. Get the hell out of here, man.
What was you said it the other day? What was said all the time? It's like the idea of a billion. Most people can't really wrap their minds around it. Like a billion,
1,000 million.
1,000 million. So like you can buy. Well, it's just as a man, it's like how do you actually process
These men are the reasons why your economy is shit. Like we talk about all the stock markets and that. Yeah, they're doing well, right? But the people are not doing well. They're not about the people.
That's
They're not
got
about
nothing.
people.
The stock market doing well has got nothing to do with the average man. And what all Esau done was I tell you what Esau is good at. He managed to create a new form of feudalism that just looks different, but it's the exact same thing. He's a witch. He's a witch. He just changed it up. But it's the same system. There's only one system in the Bible that's not one system that's not oppressive, and it's found in the Bible. The biblical economic system is a system which isn't oppressive, and guess what? It's in the Bible. But they know. Forget that. We got our own system.
So it's actually in our law to be, to care for the people, man. You know what I mean? These people, these parties, they're not bound by anything to really do anything for you. They say what they say to get voted in. They're not bound by anything.
There's no land ownership. You know what I'm saying? Now they want an even more. They want an even more oppressive system. Because the MOTB system is like the ultimate oppressive system where you will own nothing. Like, and this is who you are. You're a devil, man. This is your life. Remember that program? This is your life. You're just a devil, man. You're not a hero and you're not a victim. You're just a villain. All right, go on now.
Back in Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Don't trust them, whether they come in the form of Democrat, whether they come in the form of Republican, whether they come in the form of Tory, Labour, because that was a scam that Jake in the UK fell for. But you can't tell my family nothing about Labour. Oh, Tony Blair. And you're like, yeah, but you're like, mom, they, they did a little bit more, but they're still devils. Exactly. They're not on your side.
Exactly. They still killed a million.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? No, but Leah, but what if Tories, and I get it because they do make it look like the Tories are against the poor. But on the Labour, the rich are still getting richer.
Well, it's like you said a plenty of times, right? It's you're just picking a lesser of evil.
Yeah, you're lesser of two evils.
You know what I mean? But it's still evil.
But are they not still building out the mechanisms of oppression? They are.
Yeah, Labour said it's lightly.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing. So they make you feel.
They talk about cutting benefits.
Yeah. So they make you feel like there's a devil that's on your side, just like Bill Clinton, the first black president. Niggas actually thought that Bill Clinton loved black people,
but that's
he's
why.
in the Genesis.
But that's why it's important for these politicians to have this popularity contest, man, to get the best charismatic guy in office so he can lead the people straight.
You like jazz. You like jazz.
Yeah.
So that you think, no, you need to understand there's no devils on your side. It never has been. I don't care. Oh, he's an abolitionist. They're not on your side. It's a setup. It's always a setup. There's always an ulterior motive, man. they're setting you up. Even when that's what we're gonna read. Even when they come and act like they're being nice and they're doing something for you, they're setting you. It's like a con man. A con man is hella nice to you till they take all your money. Hell, they don't even give you money. They'll win you money. That's how the con works. They'll con you to gain your trust for the big score. You can't trust your enemy because Esau doesn't care about you. Esau doesn't want you, Jakes, to be the best you can be. At every turn, he's gonna undermine you.
Because it's like about which point you hear about them scoundrels. It's like the guy will give you the grand first time. Oh shit, yeah, it worked. And then you work, and it's like, okay, then you get five. Oh shit, and then the next time he takes it all.
That's what the word con man. Con is short for confidence. So they're all about gaining your trust. Once you gain someone's trust, then you can take them. You can take them.
Yeah.
So the Esau got you, Jakes, to gain your trust. It's like, okay, we'll have the Democrats do racial politics here and pander to them. So they pander to you and they tell you what you want to hear. Oh, we're sorry about slavery, and all this shit. And in reality, they don't do a damn thing for you.
It sounds good.
And then now what happened was they flipped the script because that's why Kanye was coming out and saying, well, Democrats ain't really done nothing with our votes. So we should really be Republican. It's like, no! No!
That wasn't the answer.
No! This is no!
Yeah.
So now you got a bunch of Negroes walking around with MAGA hats. It's like, no, my nigga.
The answer was always in the scriptures.
Yahweh Shai, man.
Answer's
None of
always
these men
there.
have got, both of these men, 1, 2, cause all rich and poor, free and fun, to have a mark in their forehead. They all want to put you in slavery. They all want to perform eugenics on you.
Grab this real quick. It says Job 20, verse 10 and 11 says, his children shall seek to please the poor, his hand shall restore their goods. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust.
That's what's going to happen. Because now, look, they even got certain Edomites talking about reparations. Where the reparations at? You ain't going to see no damn reparations. Are you crazy? They're gonna dangle it. They're going to dangle it. Because that's what Esau does. Esau's the master of talking points, talking like he cares, and token gestures. Things that don't make no difference. Oh, we'll put Harriet Tubman on the dollar or some shit.
True.
Okay, great. Thank you. Oh, here, have a carnival. Oh, thank you. I got a carnival. Oh, Black History Month. This is all token. The token gesture doesn't mean anything. There's no substance to it. Esau is not doing anything substantive.
But the thing is that Jake don't seem to understand is why should he?
Yeah,
right. It's like they think that Esau has a good bone in his heart. It's like, bro, why? If you're in rulership, what they ain't gonna do anything good for this.
They don't even care about their own people.
Exactly, yeah.
This is why their own people are struggling now because they do not. If they do not care about their own people, blood, Ebenezer Scrooge, they are going back to the Ebenezer Scrooge days, the days of the robber barons. Because I'll tell you something most people don't realize, right? You go back to America, the days of the robber barons. Mans were pissed because the average Edomite was down bad. And that's why they got rid of the robber barons and broke up the monopoly. And then you had the boomer era. And the boomer era made all the Edomites feel like, oh, well,
Yeah.
And then what happened after the boomer era? They just started taking everything from the next generations, right? Because it's the same, really. The robber barons are back. Elon Musk, all the big tech companies, corporations, the big tech corporations have replaced the robber barons. It's the same system all over again. And that's why you see the average Edomite now is in pain. And now they're blaming the immigrants. No, it's because your own people are now, they've finished feasting on the flesh of everyone else. They're feasting on themselves, on you.
Yeah, got that. So Sirach 14 and 5, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?
These men are evil to themselves now. They had Edomites working in factories. They closed down the factory. Remember that land of the free and the home of the brave. Seems like I just woke up one day. But that song was, I need to find that song, man. They closed. Oh, I'm looking for America. You know what I'm saying? Because the factory closed down and went to Mexico. You did that. You Edomites did that. Like, so they did just the American way. Isn't that not the American way? Maximize profits. Don't give a damn. It's messed up by it. You gotta have that Lamborghini, man. You need to get that Lambo in the yacht. So if you gotta fire a bunch of people, a bunch of good hardworking white Americans out of work, and it is what it is. And then they think Trump was gonna bring it back.
Not even just that Lamborghini, third one.
Yeah, the Lamborghini. That's what you worship, right? You worship the super rich. That's the American dream. Everyone in America is their own wants to be an oppressor. It's the way you think. It's the way of dog eat dog. Do whatever you got to do to become that millionaire, so you can live that lifestyle and fuck who you piss on and walk over.
When we did the video, one of the things is you've got a court case, Dodge versus Ford Motor Company. Now, basically, what the whole case was about was who basically does the company work for? And the court case basically said they're shareholders, not the employees, not even the consumers, they're shareholders, right? So that's why you see this world as it is, everything for the sake of capitalism. That's why right now, like for instance, whatever trade you're in, if it involves a computer, your boss is telling you to use Chat GPT or telling you to use Microsoft Copilot because they're like, look, man, we want this done quicker and cheaper. And in doing it quicker, guess what? Now, if something that maybe they would have had to hire an extra 4 people to clear a background. Now it's like, well, the AI is going to help people, so then actually don't need to. Even if you do actually need to hire them, they've got an excuse to not hire them. I was speaking to one recruiter.
No, sorry, if I can say this, they pretended. So I remember when they deindustrialized the UK, which man's made money from that. Remember, the deindustrialization of the process of the UK made certain Edomites super rich. But all you man that was in the mines and all that shit up north, they clanging and doing all that shit. Remember, these men got fired, and these are grown-ass men with kids here that's like 40.
With low IQ.
With low IQs. And at the end of the day, it's very difficult for a man to switch profession. If you've been doing the same thing for the last 20 years, 25 years, man don't just become a coder. Learn a new skill. No, your brain has already been wired. It's hardwired for what you do. So when they shut down, and this is why the north of England, to the most part, is cooked. You've got certain areas now that's having a little bit of resurgence, like Manchester, but to the most part, there's a massive difference between the north of England and London, because the north of England was very industrial. The London is financial. It's financial and services. So when they shut down all these factories and that, what they did was they used to come up with programs, and they call it it's called retraining. So it's like a program where the government will subsidize you learning a new skill to get a job. Yeah. What job?
And then not finance that area with these jobs.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to move.
So this is so then a lot of these men, that's why they're up there on universal credit or up there down bad, because they're the world that was left behind.
Yeah.
They've been, and this is why when they voted Brexit, because they're like, man are like, yeah, you've been left behind, blame the EU. It wasn't the EU. You've been left behind because the people that run your country made a decision to leave you behind because it profited them.
And once again, when they pushed that whole anti-Brexit narrative to those people and you didn't know any better, what they came to find out after the fact is that the EU was subsidizing
a lot of what they had.
Like when you go to like different European countries, you will see certain things all like funded by the EU, funded by the EU. A lot of farmers were funded by the EU. Clarkson Farm goes into that a lot. But how a lot of the government said that this shortfall, we're gonna plug the shortfall. The government didn't plug it.
They're leaving them to die, and that's why the Edomites are getting more and more angry, because they have been left behind. And in America, it's the same thing. A lot of people have been left behind, and they can't go get tech skills to work in the tech sector. Man's used to be. He was in the What? Where did you learn? Like so. What are they gonna do? The kids, you can learn a new skill, but man, that's like 45 years old. Like, all of a sudden, I can't do. If you told me to go learn to code, man, it's just like speaking Chinese to me. Like, nah.
But it was even before the whole AI boom, if you was entry level, you weren't getting. It was very hard for you to get a job in tech.
So it's getting oversaturated.
It's even harder now with the advent of AI.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, what's I was speaking to one recruiter recently, and he was basically saying it's a really weird time because you've got like middle management that want to hire, but the finance people don't want to give them budget too high, because the finance people in their mind, they're probably just thinking, well, the AI can just do it.
Look a hold out for AI.
You know,
they're being told not to.
Exactly.
basically. Like, we don't need that, so we're not financially.
And the companies that can take the hit, take the losses, and invest the capital, it's a specific group of companies. The small companies can't do that. So what's going to happen? They're going to have to close up shop, sell what they got. The owner moves to Thailand and opens up a cocktail bar, and the rest of the man are just out of a job.
Yeah, and then so like, and then what the thing is, then those Edomites that do move over there, like Bali, it's a big issue. The whole load of Edomites are moved to Bali, but then that means that they're the ones coming in with the wealth, and then they're displacing the locals
I'm
So you-
putting up the rent.
and putting up the rent. So you get an
Oh,
old
so they're colonizing.
acid invasion because they're moving people out their yard into the streets.
Yeah, man. Hey, the really, and then so the trade jobs, they're the jobs to have right now. But guess what? What's gonna happen when people start figuring out that trade jobs are the place to be? Everyone's just gonna try and get a trade job, and then the trade jobs are gonna become oversaturated. So really, the thing to be right now, if you can, is to be the guy that trains traders.
Yeah.
If you could open up a training center to train plumbers and train traders, you're gonna make a lot of money because a lot of people are gonna stop wanting to go to universities now, and they're gonna want to go into trades. Yeah, come give me your money.
Yeah.
But that'll only last for so long.
Exactly. Because I was gonna say as well as the con, it's like so these old English houses, yeah, you're gonna need a proper man to go in do the electrics and plumbing. But if you're a builder right now, building a brand new apartment complex, you're gonna build it in a way where actually in a few years a robot can go do that electrician job. You're gonna build it for a forward thinking of like, why do we need these electricians, these plumbers and stuff like that?
So but yeah, listen, in our world, there's gonna be even if we got technology, which we will, people are gonna have employment. People are gonna have a way to live. The problem is that the man that's ruling the earth isn't ruling the earth with man in mind. He's ruling. Pause. He's ruling. In one way, he is, but he's not. He's not. He doesn't rule the earth as a steward over the people.
Yeah.
He rules the earth thinking that the people are just disposable things for his use. So when he has no use for them, you could just dispose of them.
It's like it always comes back to this one thing: balance. He still doesn't do nothing with balance. He doesn't respect the ecology of the Most High's design.
Yeah.
You know, everything has a purpose and a need on the planet. But he's just like, oh, I don't need that. I've got this instead.
Yeah,
But then what about this? Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about the forest, the fucking animals in it. You know, he don't care what the side effects happen to other people.
No.
He only cares about profit and power. You know?
He's selfish demon, and that's why he's the only one that's gonna get exterminated. Hold on, let me
Like in Sirach 12:10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching.
Oh, that's the era of political correctness. Oh, you're not allowed to say that word no more. And if someone says it, man will get tackled. They'll put you in jail. Like you shouldn't have used that word. As if these high-level Edomites that are making those rules are not the most eugenist Nazi demons that's ever been on the planet Earth. Like you even in the Epstein files, they were eugenicists, man. These men are like, yeah, black people are, you know what I mean? They're low. Yeah, but then in the public, they ain't gonna say that. They're gonna be like, oh, we love black people.
They're humans too.
Political correctness, But the reality is, we know that none of these elites love Jake ever. They don't see themselves as equal to their own people.
You got to remember, man. These Edomites, how these Edomites have been kind of worked on is that they've had to come out of the mindset that Jake is an animal.
Yeah, child.
You know what I'm saying? That's the mindset they've had to try and come out of. And like you might say, oh, Edomites not so bad, but in the back of the mind, they still think like, yeah, but they used to think.
No, it's all coming out now. It's when you go on the comment board, all they can talk about is, oh, it's the third world, and the third world is code for urinate. Oh, it's the third world. They never had no civilization. They've never done nothing. It's all the shit that people thought no one thinks no more because they're educated. They're all just spewing it. Scientific racism. Oh, it's their low IQs. Their liver. Bro, it's all coming back because they never really got rid of that idea in the back of their mind. They just was keeping it humble.
Yeah.
Now they don't want to be humble.
I remember speaking to one cat when what you call it, back when they were all going uni and stuff, or school friends and that. They were saying, "Yo, man, these white people, they love saying the N word." It's like when Jake ain't around, also they love saying it in situations where there ain't no reason to say it.
Rolls up the tongue. Bro, look at this guy. Who was was that basketball guy who did the memo? The she
Oh,
bitch recorded him.
yeah. Sterling.
Sterling, yeah.
Yeah.
He said it straight there. He said, "Look, man, we're not the same. White Jew, black Jew, it's not the same. You know, he said it's the way of the world. You know, and what was he saying? I can't have you bring him actually come into the game with black athletes and making me look bad because all my Epstein class brethren, yeah, they don't rate these niggas, man. Like they play for me, but they're not the same. We're not the, he said it's the way of the world. He made it clear, like, especially in those upper echelons, man, they don't rate no Jakes, bro.
Yeah.
They'll use a Jake. They'll give a nigga like Jay-Z, but for them, it's like putting a diamond necklace on a monkey. Oh, yeah, it's necessary. And even in the Epstein, I hate to go back to the Epstein files, but he speaks about how, yeah, we could just roll out Jay-Z and these people will be distracted and clap. That's all Jay-Z and that are. They're entertainment. They're like the dancing monkey that they send out there to distract people while they build their new world order. Yeah.
That monkey.
Yeah. My name's Jay. Yeah, you know. You know what I mean? Go watch the halftime show. While these men are building an evil empire.
Yeah. Ciroc 13 from 4. Or did you suggest something?
Yeah. Listen,
Oh, it was the same thing. So you read that. Okay. Says, if thou be for Ciroc 13 and 4, if thou be for his prophet, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee.
that's it. They're not a true friend. They're an enemy. They're not for Jake. They'll use Jake when it's necessary.
Yeah.
Just like go back to the adverts for World War II and see how West Indian men were described in the adverts. The courageous and brave West Indian man. And I was like, oh my God. Men of valor. Bro, bare pleasantries. Now it's like, they're fucking lazy. They're just criminals, knife crime. Well, hold on. When you were recruiting, man, for the war, we were the most noble of men.
Yeah.
Then as soon as the war was over and we came here to work, John Barnes you're throwing bananas at man and abusing man. He didn't have no use for man then.
When you see the which always the West Indians, so-called Benjamin, they were invited to the UK,
Yeah.
right? But when you see the Windrush, the pictures of HMS
They
Windrush,
weren't no criminals, man.
well, he was suited.
It was the middle class.
Yeah.
Only because you have to pay to come here. So it was the middle classes that were really sending their children to the UK. This weren't the dregs. These weren't the yardies busting off shut here. These were the middle classes. And they come here and got instantly abused.
Yeah, and it's like because you say it's the middle class, so those would have been the educated, better, and then that's what you see all throughout. For instance, the EU's kind of done this in certain ways, where it's like people from poorer nations ended up, they all moved to the richer nation, the smart people. So you get what's called a brain drain. So then that nation now struggles, right? So if all of your the smart of your people move over to the UK, it's like, what do you think is going to happen? Not saying there weren't no intelligent people,
But you have to rebuild that resource. That takes time to train a doctor to train these things. But this man's a devil, man. There's so many instances on that. They'll be cool with you when it's okay to be cool. And as soon as things start going wrong, they'll be the first to turn on you. As soon as there's a crisis, they're the first to remind you that actually you're just a nigga. Oh, you scored that goal.
Jamaican-born Raheem Sterling.
You score that goal and you win them a World Cup. Yeah, they'll celebrate, but you missed that penalty, bro. They'll remind you that you're not one of us. You're not one of ours. It's Harry Kane's one of us. Even though he's probably Irish as that. You know what I mean? That's how the game goes, man. France is the same. They were hurt that, they had all them Negroes in the World Cup squad, but they won though. They had Henri, Desai, Thuram, all them man, and they were hurt. Even the last time they won it, the core of the team was what? Kante, Pogba. The actual World Cup song was an Afrobeat song. You know?
And then you got
And why, man?
Griezmann.
Be a real bad man. Griezmann is a real bad man. Yeah, man.
Everybody else,
legendary. But everyone else is a Jake, but that's how they were winning. But they man were hurt at the same time, like. And England, what they've done is they try not to go full France. So what they do is they try and get the light skinned man there. They the Theo Walcotts here. It's like, Andy Cole, you know what I mean? Or Ian Wright, But if you're looking at, if you're light skinned like melanin, maybe that palette was shaded.
But it's something to that because it's like he's a mixed race. I've never seen them the hype around his parents. I've never seen a football player where they hype up. Where's his dad's a so-called. He's a Jake. His dad's a so-called white man.
Yeah.
They called him. Was it everyone's favorite child or something like that?
Well,
It's
And, and the thing is, right? You know, like Andy Cole and Ian Wright or Bad Man,
Oh.
right? They never really got.
They never got there.
Re-rated in England.
No, they didn't.
You know,
Because
but,
they
but
wanted
Shearer,
to limit.
Kane and Owen, they get the hype.
Because what? Well, Owen was, a
He was
serious guy. But the reason is because they want to keep the darkness in the England team to a minimum as much as possible. So if they, it's like, but hey, it's the light skinned man that they're quicker.
The only one getting ratings right now is Saka.
Yeah.
Until he misses a penalty, he's from the line.
Saka. They got Gahey. They probably gonna get in because now it's like, bro, we just gotta put these dark IC3s in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they were trying hard to not have these guys in there. If you look at it, it's all Aaron Lennon, and it's the light skinned gang they want to put in there.
Well, it's
more palatable.
I remember the brother.
Speed demon. See, they got them IC. See, because the light skinned niggas got them the IC3 genetics here, but they don't look it. You know what I mean? Kyle was rapping, man.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like I remember the brother was speaking to one of his his work colleagues in it, and the work colleague, I think it's Cole Palmer. It was bigging up Cole Palmer. I think it's him.
Another IC3, right? Yeah, high hidden.
Yeah, but it was like, oh yeah, but his granddad's Nigerian. But the colleague was like,
No, he's not.
it's one of them.
No. He's West Indian.
West,
Is that
Caribbean, yes,
from Barbados or something like that. Yeah, his granddad is straight up black, and then his dad's like mixed, so that's why he looks like that. But he's just straight up. Listen, bro, come on,
They
man.
hated that.
Rio Ferdinand, like, you know what I mean? What's his name? James, the Chelsea don. James, he's a bad boy.
Oh, Reece James.
Reece James is another bad boy. Yeah, they don't mind having your Reece James in there, man. You know what I mean? Like,
It's good because of the white side.
you know, but you start talking about Saul Campbell and man like that, as quickly as they can get him out of the squad, they'll get him out. Like, you can't have these fucking, these dudes, all full me names and all that.
It's always too familiar to keep out the team, bro. You know?
Yeah, it's almost an animal.
Finish.
That Mike Tyson voice. They're going to.
Surah 13:5 now says, if I have anything, he will live with me. Yeah, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it.
Make thee bear, man. He's gonna strip you of your assets. He's not gonna come to. It's not gonna come. The relationship is not gonna come to a conclusion, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, man, what a great guy."
Well, it definitely ain't mutually beneficial.
No,
It definitely
there's
isn't.
been no one that's interacted with this devil that can say that they come out at the other end being happy with what happened. This man is always taking the piss. He's always, and this is why they have the majority of the wealth on the planet Earth, because Esau only knows how to oppress. He doesn't know how to make an arrangement that everyone can be happy with. He has to have, if there's 10, he has to have 9.9, blood, and he will give you the 0.1. But he's really trying to take that as well. You know what I mean? So that'll end up being a 0.05, and you know what I'm saying? That's how the devil operates.
So here's the thing, like, these footballers, they get paid whatever, right? But they still have to pay taxes. So that money that they're giving is going back to them some way or another anyway.
Most of them end up broke.
Yeah.
The life of an athlete is very short-lived.
Yeah.
It's very short-lived.
That's why
And they usually earn the money when they're young and dumb.
Yeah.
That's the problem with sports here is you earn money when you're too stupid to know anything about it.
Yeah.
And they can take advantage of that. A lot of these guys, especially when you look at the NBA and NFL, they're losing money because of their financial advisor.
Yeah.
Because these Edomites will come in and be like, oh yeah, invest your money in this, invest your money in that. Meanwhile, it's their brethren's company.
Exactly.
It's gonna go. They give them power of attorney, and then you're cooked, man.
Yeah.
You can't give a fucking 21-year-old fucking 300 grand a week and this shit.
Yeah.
Man. Man's brain doesn't know. In life, you're supposed to be earning big money when you're
Older,
in your like 50s. You have a little midlife crisis, you get the Lamborghini, and that's it. When these men are 21, they'll get 20 Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll just do stupid shit. Like, so athletes, really, Esau's already set up a way for the athletes, unless you're Cristiano, to take all the money back from them easily.
Yeah.
By the time I think that the statistics are most of them like half of them, by the time they're like 5-6 years out of the game, they're cooked.
I was watching that Mo Gilligan special the other day, and when he was basically telling about that one story where he went to a club in LA, and basically ended up spending bare piece. But the point was, it's like he was basically they were basically playing him against NBA players, right? And then that's what they'll be doing in them clubs. Like, oh, he just spent 20 grand. What you gonna do? So then they're making you spend, one.
And the people,
That shit wouldn't work for me, bro. It wouldn't work for me, bro.
the average,
I'll be up there.
yeah, but I don't know.
Buy me a drink.
But when,
Yeah.
when you're 22,
Exactly. And then that ego hits you.
bro, this is what I'm saying. It's easy to say when you're
Yo,
a big
Arsene
man.
Wenger's be my financial advisor. If I'm I'm not doing unnecessary
And
movements.
then it's like something like the NFL. I think the average NFL career is only 4 years.
Yeah.
The NBA career, it's not what people think. It's not like you're earning this money like for a ridiculous amount of time. Most man, they earn large amounts of money in a small amount of time,
That should last you.
and
for
it has
that.
to last you for the rest of your life.
Savvy.
And you got like you probably got some white girl in college that you thought was gonna love you forever.
So you can throw that shit in the bank and get minimal interest and get mad money from it. Like, you just keep it like that.
They're gonna
But
get
they're
you
done.
hooked on that lifestyle, boy.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
That's what they sell to Jake, the lifestyle.
Yeah, and when you're young, you don't seem like that money's ever gonna end.
Because you're poor, you desperate installments. And so you go wild when you get it.
And
because
Esau's
you-
there to
you know-
nudge you in the right direction.
Yeah.
There's
He's got ways to fuck you up.
you know like how you get gold diggers that hang around. There's Edomites that hang around. Vultures, yeah, come with listen, mate, I help you. You know, most athletes go broke, right? Come with me, my investment. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm Tyson, man. You know?
Yeah, the vultures will come around, have you invested in bridges that don't exist.
You have black vultures, yeah, donking around and shit. You know what I mean?
Al Heyman.
Yeah.
But
Because Floyd's suing him for 340 million. Man. That man took his money.
He desperate.
Another one he's gonna be broke soon because
yeah.
he
can't
stop to consumerism. He
Don't
can't
stop. Well, we had a fleet of cars in one place that's one color. Same fleet of cars in another place with another
That
color.
guy's empty, bro.
He stopped on the boat. Broke his whole time.
Empty, bro. He needs to go to Tibet, yeah, just chill on the mountain.
Some monk
Just find his soul. You know what I mean? Yeah, because that's what it is. You know, when you just hooked on consumerism, the soulless. You're trying to fill a void that can't be filled, man. And then Esau's willing to take that money, man, for you to keep trying to fill that void. Like how many cars you need? God damn. How many cars can you drive at the same time? It's ridiculous, bro. It's like it's empty at that point, isn't it? Good.
Verse 6: If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee, and will smile upon thee, and put thee in hope.
Put you in hope. Jake is in hope in this society that we can get a fair shake. That's all it is. Jake, we talk to Jake. I think things are going to change. No, it's not. He's always trying to put a chip in your damn brain, bro.
But these, all these trendy Jays all talking about, creating wealth. They don't want to be rich. They want to create wealth and legacy. That's a false hope in this world.
Bro, when was that Aldous Huxley's speech at Berkeley? When was that?
When on the way.
Yeah, when? Yeah, but my point is, right, this whole time when Esau's been selling us this dream, yeah, they've been planning on chipping our brains. So it's like, it just makes everything void. Imagine if someone's here telling, oh, I love you, I'm going to take care of you.
1962.
1962. So imagine the whole time in our relationship, I've been researching how to fuck you up. Like, you know what I mean? What? I'm like, it kind of defeats everything man was saying because it's like, hold on, you've been researching since 1962. He spoke about what everything's all about. The boot. Imagine the future is a boot on the face of humanity forever. And he speaks about chemical castration, the use of technology. Because Aldous Huxley was an insider. He knew exactly what the technocratic plan for the people was. It always was. They've always been investing research in how can we chip people and get people under complete control. So if that's what they've been doing this whole time, then all that talk about equality and that was just so bullshit.
Have you watched the full that season 2?
But it's very. I saw the chip.
Yeah,
I saw the chip. But
And it's always this message. It's always the same thing. They want to control the minds of people, man. To have their utopia, not yours, but theirs. Where everyone's just obedient.
On Jake now having these conversations about certain things, there's a saying, but I think it was one of the Rockefellers. It was like to stop investing in the stock when the Shushan boys talking about it. I.e., when the masses are talking about it, it's done. So now that Jake is talking about, yeah, but we got to invest in the stocks and this, that, it's done. It's done.
Too late.
It's too late.
Too late.
They
You wasn't allowed in before. Now you're allowed in.
yeah. But that's why you've been having the bloodbaths that you've been having.
Yeah. That's why it's always retail get F.
Yeah.
You know, when retail go in,
retail.
they don't know where to go out. So
So
it's
you're
like they
not
go in and bump
Yeah.
the stocks up, and then it goes crashes.
Yeah.
Then these are everything, man. Meantime, the rich is taking off that. The whales.
This man never had no intention of the utopian world for the people. They're not for the people. They're against
This
people.
this
They're
is
saying-
this is Elysium. Yeah, that movie Elysium, man. But that's what they created.
Oh.
Two tier.
Two-tier
Two-tier society.
This man have got some nerve. They'll be like, if a black man did it, he wouldn't get arrested. It's like, really? Because someone is.
Getting people walking on the road, so I don't know what you're talking
So
about.
what you're telling me that as a black man, I could just
Take it
commit
away.
crime in the UK?
Like,
Yo, what are we even working for? Then? I said, listen, there's places in England where the police won't go. I'm like, bro, use your brain. Please, 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 please. So what you're telling me, yeah, Mr. High IQ Edomite, there's a place in England where you could live and the police won't go there. Bro, that's it, bro. Listen, let's get your laptop, bro. We about to be billionaires because you robbing every bank, you running a casino, illegal casino, bro. We just running everything. We just gonna make because the police,
Ain't
the
gonna
police
come.
can't come. Yeah.
Can't come.
The police can't go there. Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. These Edomites are so low. Don't even listen to the words coming out of their mouth. Police can't go there because they're scared to go there. Where, bro? What's the postcode?
Exactly.
What's the postcode? Police were rolling down Murder Mile in a Hackney, blood. What are you talking about? Where will the police go? Where does Trident not go?
Yeah, I was about
What
to
the
say,
fuck are you talking
if
about?
regular police ain't go, if so, what do you call it? They'll go into after a T attack, they'll go there. But
Talking
their
about- They'll go
postcodes.
to fucking Iraq, yeah. They go to fucking Iraq and Afghanistan and blow up the place, but then somewhere in England where they can't go. It's like, oh, come on, we're not sure about that. It's too dangerous, man.
They was packing heat in England.
Yeah, fuck.
With their fucking, you know what I mean?
But what? Wait, they weren't they celebrating when Kabul got shot?
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? It's just a way for these Edomites
Man, chasing
to
down.
just try
Yeah,
live
exactly.
in a world where they're the victim. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. Let's get shot. These low IQ flipping bait.
Lowest.
Stupid as hell. All right, so we go to Ecclesiasticus 12 and 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to throw it into a pit. That's what Esau is good at. He's good. Oh, yeah, all men were created equal, even though we're rich. And then Bill Clinton will get up there, Trump will say, Biden will be like, if you're black, you should vote for me, and we care about slavery and all this stuff. And Esau will talk a good game, but in his heart, he's always been about what? Chipping you, depopulation, control. This is the fact. This is the fact. Where's Wilder? This is the fact. Wait for the documentary, but it's all in there. Esau's constantly been working against us as a people. I was telling the Elder Yashawamba about the subnormal, the schools for the subnormal, how they use the IQ test from America to put a bunch of Benjamites in schools with retards. And it came out that it was done on purpose. They knew that the kids, there's nothing wrong with them, but this is a way to mess them up. Another thing they would do is we used to have situations where you have a lot of Jake in the same area, so they will go to the same schools. They said, no, we need to split them up. And that actually hurt them because now they're getting bullied individually in all these schools instead of being together as a community. That was all done on purpose. Esau's
You always see laugh at these fucking Edomites. Man. They'll complain when the school's got a bunch of black kids and Muslims or whatever to go to school, yeah. But if you try to integrate them with them, why are there so many black kids in the school?
yeah, and they just try and bully them.
But they can't have their own school either.
Or they're invading.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
I was saying to the elder before we turned on the camera, it's like the school that I went to was majority black, but my primary school, basically, it was majority white. And I was like, oh yeah, why don't you come to this school? It's better. Right? And then I was like, and they were giving all kinds of reasons. It was because there was too many Jake in there. you know, but they didn't want to say that. So these Edomites, they try and make it seem like Jake has a stronghold in certain. There is no area in England that you can say there are no white people.
There's just less of them. And there would be, because obviously it's 70 million people. So
Yeah.
even if you have 1 million people, they're going to congregate in certain areas. They're going to move where their family is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And especially when, if you don't do that, you get bullied.
Yeah.
If you try and be the one black family in a white area,
It's
you're
beefy.
fucked. You're going to get dog shit for your letterbox. You're going to get people randomly calling you packies. They're going to be grown people bullying your children. Because grown Edomites will bully, because I had it. Grown actual adults will, but now when the Edomites move to other people's countries, that don't happen to them. When the Edomites that moved to Montserrat, where I'm from, bro, ain't nobody bullied them. Even the 1 or 2 white boys that was in my school never got bullied for being white. Never. Man was just, yo, it's Chris.
Yeah, that's it.
Man never, oh, white. I never know, oh, white boy, da 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 da. I was like, yo, Chris, yo, playing cricket. Yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're chilling. Like, it's Edomites. They will violate you, push you through your letterbox, bomb you, break it, windows. You know, brother. When we grew up, any Indians moved into our area, bro, they were getting terrorized, pure terrorism. So yeah, you move to Ilford and you all be in the same area. Because if you don't, like, these Edomites are just gonna be like hateful demons, because that's all they know how to be. Then they pretend they're the most compassionate and charitable, but Satan.
I was going to say, he will weep with his eyes, but if he find the opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
Yeah, he's a murderer. He's a murderer, man. He's a savage. He's a beast.
And then and the thing is, he'll do it in other ways as well. Like what he's doing to Cuba right now. A whole load of people are gonna die in Cuba, because you know the compassionate Edomite has put a bloody blockade on a siege.
Basically, it's a siege. And the purpose of the siege is you starve out the people, and until you get into a situation where the people commit violence and turn against their leaders. So you're pro-violence, right?
Yeah.
But then when you break it down, for instance, in Iran, bro, the man that got money in Iran are not hurt by sanctions. The sanctions hurt the poor. It hurts the people that are closest to the edge. It doesn't hurt the people that have.
It's just inconvenient.
It's just inconvenient. But they got. If you're a millionaire in them countries, you're not gonna starve. You're gonna.
Are there exemptions on tariffs? Like, would like medicines be exempt? Tariffs?
Are you talking about tariffs?
Not tariffs.
Sanctions.
Sanctions,
They sanction everything.
Yeah.
Petrol, everything. These
So-
men
so-
are playing with.
Yeah, because it's like with let's say it's commercial things, like if it's a car or whatever, that's one thing. But if you're sanctioning medicine, I thought you care about the people.
They don't care, man. These people are foul. They don't care, man. It's just, and then when you create these situations of crisis, you had the Italian foreign minister. She rebuked France and said, "It's your fault, man. What you did in West Africa is the reason why these people are trying to get out of West Africa and they're coming into Europe, because you destroyed and destabilized where they're from. Ain't nobody traveled thousands of miles to leave paradise here for no reason. There's a reason why people are risking their life on dinghies, and that's because where they're from is worth risking their life to leave.
And that's another thing that you don't really look at, is that France owes them.
Yeah.
France fucking owes them, but they better put them up. They better put them up. But all they want to do is complain about it.
No, if you didn't destabilize all these places, you would get some form of immigration, but it wouldn't be desperation immigration.
Yeah.
Because most people want to stay where they're from. Bro, you gonna leave Colombia, dog?
No.
Are you gonna look, man? They got
I've seen them.
I see something. I see something. Yeah, Mikey Garcia. I see something. They got the finest of fruits. Yeah, they got the melons, they got the limes, they got everything there that you can have. The weather. Yeah, why do you want to go to America for? What's America got that Colombia don't got? Well, Colombia is destabilized. There's gangs and all kind of madness going on. So you going where you think there's more money, where there's more opportunity. But why is it like that? Yeah, because of the policies of America. Well, you didn't care when you were doing all that. Because obviously the yacht, the Lamborghinis, the prestige, That's what you're here for. Woe unto him that covetous and evil covetousness of their to their house, that they may set their nest on high. You got an evil covetousness.
And Esau's not stupid, man. Esau knows exactly what he's doing. He knows he's the cause of it. Because the same thing in the scriptures, when that famine was going on, everyone had to come to Egypt. Because the resources were drying up around the rest of the region. So everyone was kind of pushed into Egypt. So everyone's obviously going to come to where the money's at, or where where it's getting, where it's good. Where it be the UK, America, or Europe, wherever. They're going to leave these places to come where they can survive. It's natural, bro. It's just simple. Esau knows that.
So the way to solve it would be to what? To help those people where they're from. To allow them to develop and have something over there. Then they ain't going to want to come where
Maybe
you
give
are.
back everything you stole.
But man don't care, because man can always move to Monaco.
But again, this is the thing. You look at somewhere like Nigeria, right? Nigeria has a vast amount of like oil. Same with you look at Congo, has a whole load of natural resources, right? But what he will do is he'll get his corporations to go in there, right? Because it'll be corporations will be doing a whole load of madness in these countries.
They work with the local sellouts.
Exactly. Have tribe fighting against tribe, and then in the meantime, they're just creaming.
If you have a leader that says, you know what, man, let's use these resources to benefit people, right?
Yeah.
They'll they'll go and they'll fund a terrorist organization within the country to shoot and kill him or whatever the case may be, to get him up out of there, to put the guy in there. That's going to continue business as usual, which is extraction, and you get your cut. Allow us to extract the resources from your country, and you'll get your cut, and we'll allow your son to come to London and live in Chelsea and go to London Business School. Hey, don't worry about him actually studying either. We just like that. Won't sign off on that one, you get me? Which is what happens.
And that's the diary of the economic hitman. That's what these men be doing.
Because ask Venezuela, man. That man, I went to liberate. Bro, all Trump spoke about was Exxon's gonna go there, right? This Chevron's gonna go there, right? They didn't care about it.
But like, all these MI6s, these international agencies that Esau has going around the earth, keeping stability in the earth. What that really means is keeping Esau's kingdom stable.
Yeah.
Making sure those deals are still going, they're still flowing, money's still coming in. There's no leaders that are kind of backing up the trend. They're there to manage that.
Yeah.
Right, so Esau can prosper. It ain't for us.
Keep them weak.
Yeah,
That's what I
it's
say.
not for the rest of the world.
Just him that weakened the nation.
Okay,
that's right.
Keep them weak and messed up. That's what they want.
Yep.
Don't invest money in education. They don't want them to be educated. That's what the IMF, and that's well known. That's why for a while, when the IMF was visiting countries, people would start protesting because the word got out. Right, the IMF is just a function of neoliberalism. They give these men exorbitant loans, and then when it comes time to pay back, a man can't pay back. Okay, cut education, cut healthcare, cut all these things. Yeah, the loan shark business, bro.
Yeah.
Give us your resources for next to nothing.
Meanwhile, the money that they lend to you, man, ain't even fucking real money. So, and they're fortunate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
With hella
Blood money and
ties
shit.
around it as well.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll give it to you, but we need a few abortion clinics over there somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll give it to you, but you gotta be a lot more nicer to the flavor. Right?
Let our company come into your country and pay zero tax.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a shell company in Switzerland, and they'll pay tax there. But the actual that's how Mark Rich, look it up. Mark Rich, the biggest tax scandal in American history, which he got a presidential pardon on Bill Clinton's last day in office.
Wow.
Wesley Snipes didn't get one, but this guy got one. While he was in Europe with his brethren, just chilling in Europe. Epstein in Europe, he was on the FBI most wanted list.
Well, the UK didn't give him up. You didn't give him up.
Well, of course they didn't give him up. He was with his friends. He was chilling in Europe, sipping on champagne while he was the most wanted. And the lawyer, the head prosecutor, was hunting him down. And then he got a phone call. He got a phone call from the guy's lawyer, and the lawyer's like, "Okay, what can we do to get to get rid of this?" And man's like, "Bro, it's in a documentary." Man's like, "Yo, word to Wilder." Man's like, "Yo, you've committed like the biggest tax fraud in American history. Like, you're going to jail." Yeah. And then he goes, "Yeah, so he got the case already." And then Bill Clinton,
The road to no place.
Bill Clinton just gave man the presidential pardon. Now the whole setup was
What was the reason for that? Why did he give him the pardon?
because he was guilty.
Yeah, yeah. But what,
He
like,
should be going to jail.
then the president, yeah, what doesn't the president have to say something? Oh, because of this and that.
No. The president has the power to, with the stroke of a pen, with anyone he wants, he can give them a pardon from a crime.
Bullshit.
So he didn't go to jail. And then when you look up the Mark, it's on YouTube about Mark Rich, who set up his company in Africa, pay off the local leader where they don't pay no tax. So imagine that's the main, they're just sucking out the resources, making billions, but they don't pay no tax in that country. So none of the money they're generating is actually helping the country they're in. But then they set up a shell company, and it goes back to Switzerland where they don't pay no tax there either. So he wasn't paying tax in the African country, and he also wasn't paying tax in America. That's how the game goes. So a lot of these companies get to go into these countries in Africa and South America and just not pay tax to the local population while they're sucking out all the resources and the money. And then you wonder why the people there, well, the women, you got all kind of prostitution, you know, because man are down bad, like. They're living on scraps. So you could go in there now and have a little sex tourism and act like you're the big man. Because you can get the bad bees for 1 penny. It's crazy. God. Yeah, boy.
That's like everyone to read.
God.
Again, just you can't trust this devil, right? Because this is their mentality, right? So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart. With which being extinguished, our bodies shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud.
Now, they, like I said, their ideology is demonic. You are supposed to have a care for your ancestors, the people, the contemporaries, and the children. Like, you're supposed to care about the environment, right? This is how a good steward of the planet is. So that's called being ethical. You're ethical.
But
Right.
Esau invented that term, right?
Esau is not ethical. Esau don't give a shit, man. Esau gonna do what he wanna do. He gonna mold everything to his lust. He's given to lust, so whatever he wants. His lust for power, his lust for gold. He's given to it, and nothing else comes into it. He doesn't care about righteousness. Dash righteousness straight out the window. He doesn't care about truth. Who cares about that? Truth, righteousness, any of that stuff, integrity, none of that matters. You can have the image of integrity, you know, because that helps when you want to con people. So you can have the PR. Yeah, we don't mind a bit of PR. Like, how do we look like we're you know? I know we're poisoning the children, but can we do some kind of can we kiss some babies out here? Yeah, can we do something that makes it look like we care? Yeah. But we don't want it to cost too much money. Well, if we spend £1 million doing this charity, what's that worth to us in terms of goodwill towards people?
Yeah, how much they get us back?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a joke, man. All these come McDonald's sponsoring the Olympics.
Yeah, that's mad.
For real. McDonald's don't care about the children, man.
Yeah, that's what they had to do here.
Pharmaceutical companies don't care about the health of the people.
Yeah.
Quite the contrary. So
That's why, would you call it? The same company will create a drug that has one side effect, but then also create the drug that deals with that side effect.
The money's just looping around.
Looping around, bro.
Piece of- Yeah, they should. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as the mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. For a time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, where it is far sealed, so no man cometh again. Come on, therefore, and let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in use. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us.
yeah, they just want to do what they want to do, and that's what Esau is all about. Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. They don't care As far as they're concerned, they ain't coming back. So they're just gonna do their thing. Rape, kill, steal, murder, whatever the case may be. Do whatever you could get away with.
That YOLO life
Not understanding that. Yep, okay.
being documented.
I did that. Okay. Oh, it's a fact. Just write that down too. Oh, okay. Disrespected them. Oh, sorry, listen. You know, they showed you that in Loki, man's whole life was documented on a piece. You know, shit, man. Whole life was being documented. You don't understand that. The spiritual Google, man. It's a see. You know, like how you got the transcript. The Most High, the transcript is already there.
Yeah.
Everything you, every idle word you speak, every evil that you've done, everyone does. Everything. The eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. It's recorded, and the energy of the universe is always balanced, man. You gonna have, so when you do evil, that's why it says God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sow, that shall he also reap. So you thinking that you're getting away with it. Like you think if you commit a murder, which a lot of these Edomites do, by the way, they commit these murders and they get away with it because they didn't have the technology at the time, or it was easy to cast suspicion on someone else. That's why there's a lot of Jake in prison for murders they didn't do. Yeah. You think, oh, you got away with it, so it's due as the light. No, you didn't get away with anything. You got away with it in the eyes of man, but it's still. So you gonna pay for it now. You might not pay for it now, but you come back in a reincarnation, you definitely gonna pay for it then. And that's what's gonna happen to you Edomites, man.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
And so you got a generation of Edomites today that their fathers before them and their fathers before them and their fathers before them have just done nothing but evil. Evil.
Same scams.
So for them, it's like they don't.
I'm the king.
I've been abusing these people for years, man. I've been tying them up in dungeons, bro. I've been raping them, killing them, chopping them up, eating them, and I'm living good and I'm making more money than ever. Like, I out here. That's their mindset. They're fully arrogant, and they're like, they're even coming out and telling the people in a roundabout way, like, yeah, yeah, we do that. And guess what? No one's gonna get arrested for it. Like, now what you gonna do, boy? What you gonna do about it? You gonna protest? Like that's what they're basically doing. They're coming out in the open with it. They're like, yeah, you know, with them. Is what it is, isn't it?
All of those conspiracies, yeah, they were right.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I mean, they're basically coming out letting you know what's going on out here. Because it's arrogance. Because they think they are the true power in the earth. They think they got their iron grip over the people of the earth, not understanding that. Listen, bro, the Most High is a terrible, terrible power, man. Yeah. That no man can stand before. No man's calves work, bro. When you come before the Most High, hamstring, calves, everything just cooked.
That's why, man, we're
The spiritual.
so we're grateful for this thing, man, because it's like really these people in this world, like they're just is the word demoralized because they see all of these things happening, but they're like, what can they do? Who are they gonna call? The same people do it.
Yeah, it's the same people. It's the same. The police and all them man are in on the game. They got their demons.
Oh, you know, Savile was proof of that. I think he told someone, I was like, you gonna report me then? Like the judge was basically said the judge would just let me off. You know?
Well, Epstein got hit with a nice little sweetheart deal and was still allowed to do business and all that. Even trafficking and all that. Yeah, but it's a joke thing. But that's how the world is. You got the criminals are running the jail.
Yeah.
This is the reality. Like, what you see, man, watch all these fucking movies. So you think Superman and Captain fucking America is running around out here, and James Bond is a bastion of fucking righteousness. Nah, these men are all OT. Well, Alistair Crowley was an MI5 member. That tells you everything you need to know. This man are demons. These men are the only pedophiles that get caught and put in jail is the freelancers. The little man that's not initiated.
Not just in Hollywood.
But if you initiated, man, you're good. You get protection by the FBI. You get protection from this all my six.
Yep. Evidence goes missing, mistrial.
Yeah, but no, it's these men have got all these surveillance technologies, but no elite pedophile rings can be undercover. How does that work? They man got all the most sophisticated surveillance technology there is to mankind, yeah, but not one pedophile network can be No.
Exactly.
Hell out of here.
But they know when you ain't paid enough tax.
Oh yeah, they're on to you, man. Niggas is getting SWAT teams all the time. Trying to put the coke down the toilet. Niggas do everything.
Yeah,
They know
whole,
everything.
whole RICO case.
Yeah. They know everything, bro. They got all the informants, but they're leaning on everyone, man. Come on. Go ahead.
It's a good Psalms.
Bro, the whole thing, you know where they get it. Let me say this. You know where people get it wrong. What they try and do is paint it like, oh well, this guy's only doing what he's doing because he's being blackmailed. No, he's not being blackmailed. What is called is mutual destruction, just like in a gang. When you join a gang, right, the reason they get you to put in work is because the moment you put in work, you are now joint with them. So even if you snitch on them, you're really snitching on yourself. Because your hands are just as dirty as their hands. So this is how they operate. You aren't allowed to come. That's why you go into Epstein's Island. If you understand the occult, the island was an initiate. It's an initiation. It had a temple on there. It's for initiation. It's new initiates. That's where they take them. And they get them to do these things. It's like, yeah, now you're one of us. Now you're part of the team.
Now we can trust you.
Now they can trust you because now your hands are just as dirty as us. If you're clean, they can't trust you because they know, like, okay. But you know, I know, we're all on video. So what are you gonna do about it? Like, you gonna tell on us, bro? The whole thing burns. It will just be the whole thing going up in flames, including yourself. Ain't nobody gonna do that. So they're gonna keep quiet. They all fucking know. How many? They all fucking in the
I don't know this, man.
They're all dirty. You have to get your hands dirty. The higher you go up, man, they don't let you be clean. You have to be ungodly, bro. So they're gonna get you in there. And they're choosing to do the evil that they're doing. They're not really making them do anything. And you think these Americans, well, I'm only doing what I'm doing because the Jews blackmail me. No, they're getting paid anyway. They don't give a damn about America, man. You think they got conscience? Oh, I really didn't want to fuck over the American people. And they're losing sleep at night. No, they're not. Man's in the flipping in Mar-a-Lago chilling, bro.
They're not desperate for recruits. You know what I mean? There's thousands of millions of sellouts out there that are waiting to sell out.
Give a
Was it Wilder when they were talking about 100 mil? Was someone recent was like, yeah, I'll sell it for 100.
Oh yeah, that guy, bro. Crawford. Yeah. Well, that man don't give a. You think they need to blackmail a man to betray the American people? These men don't care about the American people. That's why they're there. They don't care, man. Who do you think care? The only people that are patriotic are peons. You know, Negroes.
Because that's what was given to you.
Yeah, Negroes. Some fucked out Negro.
So you can go out there and die for them.
Yeah, I know that. This is bullshit, man. Listen, I'm gonna move to Monaco.
So that's what I was gonna say though. The proof that they actually see themselves as better is they don't go to places you. They'll pay more for just to like, for instance, when you really look at some of these exclusive places, the only reason they're priced at that level is so that they don't have to be around you.
man.
It's an easy way for them to politely say, fuck off to the
elites of this world don't believe in patriotism. They don't have allegiance
the flag.
to a fucking country. They have allegiance to the cult and themselves. That's why they'll move and go wherever they want to do. Where's Prince Harry right now? Man's in America. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You got a whole bunch of Europeans, they go to America. A whole bunch of Americans, they come to England and live in England. Yeah. Where's Jim Ratcliffe right now? In Monaco.
Shit.
I guess and they're calling it, he's a British patriot. He lives in Monaco.
Tommy, mate.
Yeah. Tommy's just left as well, like, going to Dubai. And
yeah, to be around Muslims.
Yeah. Fear for my life, so I'm gonna go travel with myself.
And Middleton's in Dubai. These guys are not no patriots, man. Patriotism is for the working class. Because they need to have you believe in the country. These men don't believe in country. They believe in corporate. Do the corporations have patriotism? They're multinational corporations, but they don't give a fuck about all that, man. It's you that care about being an American, man. They don't care.
So you can work and die here.
What does it matter where you're drinking your champagne? What does it matter? So you look at these politicians in America, they don't care about America, man. They might well move to Costa Rica, man. Like, and live in a villa. Who cares? They're rich.
Where's Blair right now?
Yeah, to Switzerland or something, man. Oh,
Of Psalms 10 and 74. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Most High. Most High is not in all his fault.
they don't consider the Bible before they do things, unless they're gonna twist the scripture to their benefit. They don't consider the scriptures, but they're Christian. But you don't see none of these guys that's on the internet right now, these Baconites, looking in the search in the scriptures for the answers. They ain't good. They're looking for Ratcliffe and Tommy Robinson for the answers. These people don't believe in the Bible. If you ask them for 5 biblical scriptures, yeah, they wouldn't even know. If you told them Leviticus 20:13 was in the Quran, they wouldn't agree.
Oh, there was that. There was that. Yeah, there was that prank. No, there was actually that prank. It was one. It was in Switzerland or something. One of them countries that has a real proper. Basically, the guy covered the Bible with the Quran in it, with the Quran covered. So, but then he starts reading verses in the scriptures, right? And then those, I can't believe the Quran says that. It's terrible. It was like, yeah, but that's the Bible. And people didn't know. It was like, oh,
It doesn't surprise me. These men don't know no scriptures. They don't go to no church. They don't believe in no, and even the ones that do go to church don't really believe in scriptures or not.
it's just with a lot of people, church is just a third space. For a lot of these older Edomites, it's just a third
Which
space.
political party bases their policies on the Bible? Zero. And they're just making up some policies that they got from some witch coven somewhere. And they don't make it's not no. They don't say because the law in the Bible says this, so this should be how this should. They don't do that, man. These devils don't care about righteousness.
And the thing is, if there was a party that did that, do you think these Baconites would vote for that anyway?
Oh, hell,
All these Christian warriors
you
out
just
there.
said it. You just said it. You think the Baconites?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't tell them, man, they can't eat bacon.
Well, I remember hearing.
You're interpreting that wrong.
Oh, they want all the bacon. Which even that was a scam. That was a scam because the man them that owned the pig farm, they wanted a way to sell that meat to the poor people.
Yeah.
Well, that was a waste cut that they used to have to feed to animals,
Yeah.
pork belly. And then it's to convince the housewives that it was good for breakfast.
That was thingy again, wasn't it?
Was it Edward Bernays?
Bernays, yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
National Bank.
Go on.
It goes on to say, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for his enemies,
Yeah, they don't look for the Most High's judgment in anything they do. They don't do evil. They didn't put Jake in slavery and go, oh, we're gonna get judged for this. Them man ain't worrying about all that. Them man was Calvin Candy in it all the way, fam. Them man was just drinking lemonade. Them man ain't worried. Even to this day, they don't really think about this judgment coming for everything they do. They're too busy being
Well,
victims.
they want to be acquitted. They want to leave that in the past.
Yeah. Now they're just saying they was good.
Yeah.
Now they're saying, oh, now you see why I'm starting to, bro, no word of a lie. They literally either might say, now I know why our forefathers had these niggas enslaved.
You know, and I'm glad though.
Now I know why we had Jim Crow.
I'm glad for that though. I love the boldness of Edomites in these last days, man, because it makes you just want to crush you even more.
Yeah.
You know, and knowing true that you truly deserved it. You know, because you're just a bunch of fucking wankers, man.
And we
You know,
crush his head.
Yeah.
It's good.
What's beautiful as well, it's like before when it came to PR, he controlled his PR, right? It was just whatever you saw in Hollywood, this and the other, right? But now with the internet, everyone has really seen these Edomites for who they are.
Oh, the hypocrisy.
yeah, but it's still being controlled because Esau wants him to do that.
Yeah.
Because Esau wants that chaos that these men are bringing up.
But the world, the people, what I see, the people across the world, they see Esau is the devil, man.
Yeah.
Everyone is like, what's
It's
this
the-
guy talking about color? How is Britain talking about some colonization and the whole world's looking at it like, is this guy for real? And these people, they're not real people, man. These are not real. This can't be right. Like this guy is complaining about colonization. Like, is he serious, bro? Like when most of the world speaks English because you forced them to.
Exactly.
Like,
But how the fuck does he know? He's looking around the regular people. You know what I mean? How the fuck does he
you
know?
can't have an economy with 9 million people benefits. Really, you can't have an economy with like bare billionaires.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what you can't.
Anyway,
That's the real issue. That is the real issue. There's too many fucking rich assholes out there.
but he would grew up for benefit. Yeah, he come from council estate allegedly. And then so he benefited from the welfare state. Like, this is taking the piss. But now he don't want to pay tax. So he dodged 4 billion in tax, man.
4 billion in tax.
Yeah.
Shit. But once again, I'm the bad guy if I'm late. HMRC straight £100.
Yeah.
That's why he moved to Monaco.
Bro, straight £100. Even if you have
These
nothing,
guys shouldn't be able to talk.
bro. Even if you had no tax to pay, if you didn't tell the government in time that I have no tax to pay, £100 fine immediate.
But you know, the only reason why he was allowed to buy, why he got Man United, because originally the Saudis and that wanted to buy it.
Right.
But you know, human rights and then all the Baconites are like, oh, we don't want to be owned by Arabs and all this stuff, yeah. And then so that's how he played the far right. We want to make Manchester United Manchester again. We don't want the Americans to own it. Which they still own half of it, yeah. So that's how he actually managed to rob it. And then he come in and fire the dinner ladies, blood. All the white women in that blood. It's crazy.
That's see, the Arabs would have given them a pay rise.
Yeah. The Arabs would have just been flooding money on them.
He's fucking stingy, man. These men are stingy.
Yeah, man,
These guys billionaires are stingy as fuck.
I said the dinner ladies can, before we were talking about it before camp. Before, if you was Man United staff, you get like the free dinners and lunches that the players kind of get access to, the cafeteria. Now they're like, you can only have soup like in the morning. Then you have to bring
These
in
men
your
got
own
more
food.
money than ever.
Right.
And they don't want to give you fuck all,
The
man.
Arabs wouldn't have done that. You
Right,
might would have got man, and he cancelled the
so.
Christmas.
Arabs just throw money around, didn't it?
He cancelled the Christmas party too, so they no longer have a funded Christmas party for the staff.
Wow.
The biggest club in the world.
Yeah. So I just looked up box. So you what you call it, the executive box at Old Trafford, Manchester United Stadium, are high-end hospitality options that often cost 20,000 for a season, excluding VAT, right? And can accommodate 5 to 10 people, right? So basically, it's one where you can they can use the price of one box to let people in the whole state, so the dinner ladies eat. These guys are like, he'll probably fly a private jet. It's like 20,000 a flight.
But this is why Scripture tells you that Richardson is not coming for a nigga.
He's a fucking Scrooge. Right, it says they fired 100 to 200 people, and I guarantee most of those people were local Mancunians.
Yeah.
Like,
White people.
And they wouldn't even pay that much anyway, because for the type of job it is. So these men are desperate for work.
They didn't give out no free tickets, so usually, like, because when we went to the final, when we got slapped by Tottenham, right? Usually the club gives out tickets that cancel that. So they weren't even getting free tickets for the game, bro.
No perks.
This is the man of the people. He could have funded them tickets himself, from his own money, and it wouldn't even mean nothing to him. You're a demon, bro.
But it's like, once again, these are the same people that will go out and spending 10 grand on a dinner is nothing. 10 grand on a dinner for us, that's wild.
But the thing, like these mega rich, like the Bezos of this world, right? They shouldn't have to sack nobody.
Yeah. So it says Man United expect to save more than $1 million. So they said more than, really only $1 million. Right? Man United expect to save only $1 million, and I'll correct that. Right? It says by closing the staff canteen at Old Trafford and then free lunch. The reason why I say only is because that's 1 week, 1 month, sorry, one of their players' wages. Yeah. That's like 1 month.
This is despicable. This comes after the club culled around 250 staff last year with other money-saving measures. The Arabs wouldn't have done this.
Nah.
This included cancelling free coach travel for staff to last year's FA Cup final. So,
That would have been a couple. I may have been a few
it says cutting back on ambassadorial salaries, right? Which a lot of those ambassadorial salaries are done because you're supporting old players from back in the day that didn't really have needs. So what the club did was they bring back in some of them old players that serve the club, so they can have a bit of something
You know what I mean? Like, so that you know what I mean? Because they paved the way for the club to be where it is today. Nah, man, I said fuck them old white boys. So you got rid of it. But yeah, this is
Vets, like,
the old veterans.
yeah.
Increasing ticket prices. So increase the prices for the average everyday Mancunian that wants to go to the game. All right. So fuck the working man. Well, Ratcliffe also decided to bring an end to Sir Alex Ferguson's $2 million a year role with the club. I mean, fair, dude. Fair. That one's fair. Right. And according to Times, United have now decided to dismiss the long-serving Jackie Kay, who has worked at the club since 1995. It's 20 years. Kay's impending departure was described as brutal, with the popular staff member, head of team operations, having previously served as former CEO David Gill's executive assistant. She's also spent a period in charge of the first team logistics at Club Carrington training ground. Yeah, some white woman, bro. Like, she just got cut.
30 years.
The report goes on to claim that both players and the succession managers were huge fans of Kay, who was labelled as the oil in the machine at the club. That's it. They just cut her out, man. She's cooked.
Yeah.
Right? I'm trying to think with the dinner. Bro, and this is the hero. This is the Edomite hero they're hailing as the guy that you know, he's Edomite, he's a patriot. But he just went and fired their crackers.
This is the same devil that would have, like, you know, these guys ain't got work. They would have been the ones that would have sacked you, man. So you would have had no work.
On the Arabs, bro, these Arabs been given washed out boxes, papers that would have never gone.
But it's the same type of dude who would bring it in because they work for cheaper.
And if
He would.
there was a little bit of
Cost
backlash
cutting,
when he did it. Yeah, when he did these things, there was a tiny bit of backlash. Most of it was just mockery. They were like, "Oh, Man United's a big club, and look what they're doing!" Ha 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 ha. Let the Arabs have come in.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh, it's humanitarian. Oh, they did it because they're misogynist.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's their fault because they didn't want the Arabs to buy it. They said, "Oh no, we don't want the Arabs. They take it brand." And then the white man come in and just fired their grandmother. Blood. It's crazy.
Funniest thing is, I bet Ineos probably has a lot of Arab money funding it anyway.
Yeah, they're still working through them. Yeah, probably. So,
It's media Paisa, like the biggest numbers of old people.
Ebenezer
Right here.
Scrooge.
So Isaiah 56:11, it says, "Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter."
Because they're always looking for profit. Them and their shareholders. They don't care about people that work, that actually work for them.
Not bad.
You know, these men just want more for their yacht. You know? When's enough? When's, you know, how much is enough?
That's why
You know what I mean?
Who
These guys are billionaires, bro. Like,
They
billions a mad number.
they sold out all the national rail, all the utilities to crackers, rich crackers. They took the utilities, drove them into the ground, took out all the profits, didn't invest no money in the infrastructure, and then now the same government is going to buy the utilities back. These men already took the profit and ran with it, and now taxpayer money is now going to have to fix all that infrastructure. That's your own people did that, man. There wasn't no Jews in Afghanistan. There wasn't no immigrant or no universal credit. That was your dons that did that, and now they're living in Monaco.
There's a lot of
Leamington Spa.
there's a lot of inefficiencies in this country that are there, but it's like it could really don't. Exactly. Yeah. But it's like these things are on purpose, so because
it's designed.
it's designed.
No, the nationalization and the privatization is a known cycle of how the rich they privatize it, take all the profits out, run it into the ground. Get the government to nationalize it, fix it up, then they privatize it again.
That's why, like, the project, like stuff that the country actually needs, like which HS2 they probably could argue they don't need that, but like the high-speed rail from the north to London, right? A lot of time just been spent in litigation, in things of like, oh yeah, do we need to do this? Do we need to do that? Those are inefficiencies that in that time people are getting paid. The government, the people aren't making use of HS2, of the different facilities and services that are being supposedly built, because some people are being paid in that process of time of surrounding inefficiencies, man. Holding contracts and all of that. You know, because you really think about it, it's like, I think about this every now and then. It's like, why is it cheaper for me to leave the country than to spend my money in other parts of UK?
Because they left there. Thatcher
Thatcher, they used Thatcher to get rid of the unions and to privatize all the government infrastructure. And so now you're in a situation where all the government really has is debt and taxpayers. They don't really have a lot of assets to make money from. The rich people own it all, and then they now have to borrow from the same rich that you sold all the assets to. It's a mad thing.
Because it's like you think about certain parts of England which are through, like for instance, all of the old beach coastal towns, like Margate and then places there. It's like really, I should be able, because Margate, when you go to certain of these like English beaches, yeah, they're not, the water's not the best, but it can still
Oh,
look
there's
nice.
nice. There's nice some beaches in England, man. Even in Wales.
Wales is a lot of
It's a lot
beautiful,
of nice.
but it's going to cost me an arm and actual leg to go to Wales, right? You know, let's say I'm taking transport, that's going to cost me maybe 100+ quid to go there and return, and that's before I've even sorted out accommodation. Or we want to drive there, well, it's going to cost me a couple hundred to drive there. Exactly. It's like in the UK, it's like 60p per litre of on petrol goes straight to a tax. You know?
Research. It's Sirach chapter 10, verse 3, right? An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
But this everything is of your own doing, man. Your own pride, and you know it's good for you, Edomites, because you're proud, man. Like the situation you just said, you could have let the Arabs buy Man United. You would have had a lot more money, and the dinner lady
The
would still
Champions
be
League
there.
right now.
But you wanted to be racist, and now the same cracker that you put in there fired your dinner lady, man. Okay, let's carry. We still. Where was you at? Did you finish on Sirach 10? Did you finish it?
No, I
Okay.
didn't finish.
Okay.
That was reading.
Okay, cool. And then get Genesis 25.
Oh no, I was sorry.
Yeah, is he finished? Sirach
Can read it
12.
again.
Yeah.
It says Sirach 12 and 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, but like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Yeah.
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass.
The same devil that was slaughtering the Native American Indians, slaughtering the Taino Indians, the same murderer is the same murderer today. And it's going to come back in a big way. We've been telling you for a long time, Esau's been setting up the idea that you Jakes are a net negative to society. You are obsolete. You are a problem. If you want the world to move forward in any kind of way, Jakes need to be exterminated. This is what's been pushed. This is being pushed. Every time they start talking about IQs and the crime rates and all this stuff, and they will talk about the negatives. They don't talk about the thousands of nurses. They'll talk about the knife stabbing. This is by design. You know what I'm saying? They highlight Chicago, and they create that situation so they can highlight it. Oh, Chicago. Oh, this is a problem, you know? Yeah, because they want to be able to go in there and indiscriminately just start mowing people down to fix the country, to save humanity.
Yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
This is the same devil, man. He's the same brute as he was in the Roman era, the Greek era, as he was with our forefather Jacob when he tried to murder him, as he was as Cain. It's the same devil with the same characteristics. He ain't had a character arc. It's the same, like you know them villains that just they no character arc. There's no growth. It's the same devil. He didn't become nicer. You know, he's same blood person.
He didn't learn anything.
He hasn't learned anything, man. He's gonna be a devil. I remember Elder Sakaran said that one time. He's the devil, and he's gonna continue to be the devil until the day he's destroyed. This is the facts. Right? We got a documentary coming up. These are just the facts. I have the facts. Yeah, this man is still the devil. He hasn't changed. What you see happening over there in Gaza gave the whole world PTSD. So the whole world thought that Esau had moved away. He's civilized now. It's all about being fair and humanitarian. And then it was like, oh, this guy just fucking bombing children and shit. And then justifying it. And the whole world had PTSD. The whole world was like, oh shit, that's what he did to us. He's not changed at all.
He's
He
yeah,
lied.
he lied. This is the devil, man. No, he hasn't changed, man. He's the same, man. He's the East India Company, man. The East India Company were cutthroats, bro. That man was some devil, strapping people to cannons and all that, man. Lynchings are coming back, man. You think Esau wouldn't want it? Listen, if a real life lynching happened right now, there'll be a lot of Edomites be like, yeah, good.
Yeah.
It's about time. It's about time. We gotta fight back.
Piece of quick.
Yeah, good.
It's Isaiah 14:5. No, I'm stopping 4. That thou shalt take out this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressor ceased, golden city ceased? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the
And
people
that,
in
you know
wrath.
what that's gonna happen when Yahweh Shai comes and destroys your armies, man. And you're gonna be left defenseless. You're gonna break your power, your authority, because it goes back to your military structure, and all your infrastructures are gonna be destroyed, just like that. And what's just gonna be left? Peon number 1 and peon number 2, cold and naked, ready to be abused.
Yep.
And we ain't gonna be no. Listen, bro. Listen, man. Don't infect. When there's no empathy, because there's no empathizing with the devil. You're all gonna be in a bad way because there's not gonna be no Jake that's gonna be like, like feeling sorry for you, man. Ain't no one gonna feel sorry for you, man. You're gonna be-
Hey, we're going to be as the Lord is in that thing. You know, the Lord will have mercy upon whom we have mercy, right? We know that Esau is a vessel of wrath, fit for destruction.
Well,
So there's going to be no mercy for Esau.
Well,
You know,
no
no
one-
place of repentance.
no one's coming to help you. No one's feeling sorry for you. You know, like when you're a youth, yeah. Sometimes you get your ass whooped. There's always someone that feels sorry for you. You know what I mean?
It's what you say, none shall save thee, man. There's no one
You
going
know
to
what
come
I
to
mean?
you.
I remember sometimes I get my ass whooped by my dad, and I'm hurting, man. I got welts all over my back and shit. I'm fucked up. And my Aunt Millie be like, "Hey, let's go to the beach. You know, it's like, "Hey, well, I got welts, man." Or something, you know what I mean? Even my dad will come back and be like, "Right, son." Like, you know what I mean? But hey, because someone might feel sorry for you, man. I do it sometimes, man. I'll be around some family yard and you get whooped, and I feel sorry for them. Like, oh man, he got dealt with, man. And then you're like, oh, it's okay, man. Just have a learn for listening. But you Edomites, ain't nobody gonna be like feeling sorry for you, man.
Everyone knows you deserve the ass.
Yeah, man. You're gonna be hated by the other nations, us. You're gonna be given into the hand of a cruel ruler, bro. And we're gonna be cruel. We're gonna be uncompromising. There's gonna be no, because you're used to living in a world where you do get catered to. The nerve of these devils, bro. Everything caters to you. If you go on holiday, the damn eggs is running, man, and rice because of you. The music is your music. Everything in the world, really, globally, gets catered towards Edomites, especially the English-speaking Edomite. That's why you can go anywhere in the world and you're not expected to speak the language where you go. You expect that when you go to Spain, someone there speaks English, and you're upset if man don't speak English because it's catered to you. But in our world, nothing's going to be catered to you, man. Nothing's going to be comfortable. Not even the toilet seat.
Nothing's going to be the way you like it.
Toilet seat's going to be cold all the time. It's cold, that toilet seat. Nothing ain't going to be comfortable or catered to you, man. Get ready for that. Nothing, especially the so-called white woman, man. They're so used to getting pampered and treated and getting away with shit. They don't want to carry their luggage all day looking at the stairs.
You ain't got no makeup to save your face, man.
There's a million man coming trying to help them up. Well, yeah, bro. You see it, and you're like, this is insane. I remember one time this Edomite woman, she was there, and she was looking at the suitcase because she just knows someone's gonna come help her. And I was like, okay, this bitch, let me go help her. Go there, bro. It's like it weighed the same as your phone. I ain't even fucking joking. The suitcase weighed the same as a phone.
There's nothing in the suitcase.
There's nothing in it, and she's waiting for someone to help her. Meanwhile, you get a black woman, bro. She'll be there from now until the cows come, waiting for someone to help her to go upstairs. Because again, the system of white supremacy, the princess doesn't have to get her hands dirty or do anything. A lot of them live like that. They're so used to getting their own way. That's why they bug out. If you ever do customer service, if you don't give them their own way, they start getting passive aggressive because they're not used to people just bending to their fucking will. just providing all the comforts that they need. Well, in the kingdom, bro, okay, there's no fucking comforts for you.
Yeah.
There's no massages, no spas, no nothing. You're gonna be actually fucking working in the field, like a West Indian black woman, blood in the 1860s, but you know what I mean, in the cane field, struggling with your nails all fucked up and your hair all over the place, sweating like a dog. No more this sunbathing shit. And man tripping over themselves to help you. Man, well, I see all the time in the workplace, bro. Some Edomite woman comes in with a box. You see 5 men tripping over themselves. Oh,
You're right there, miss.
fuck off, man. Fuck out. Kids you could carry it, man. Meanwhile, my Aunt Millie, blood, where they grew up, blood, they were raw and rugged, blood. Let me push a man out of the way, like. Yeah, because the man's at work. We're used to having to do our own shit. We're having to work, not getting catered to all the damn time, man. Little princess, you're gonna get cooked.
Yeah,
So, no.
He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindering.
Yeah, they've been nothing but mashing up the nations with war and pestilence, man, for years. Like, they haven't stopped to this day. They're still planning on trying to bomb Iran and doing all kind of madness, man. These people are not civilized. They're not civilized at all. They're uncivilized. The scripture says when we take over the world, from then there ain't even gonna be no war. Because you know why there ain't gonna be no war? Well, first of all, the main reason there ain't gonna be no war is because why does war even occur? War occurs because man want to steal and do all this stuff. We're gonna be there to make sure that don't happen. Man will know judgment will come. And if there's a grievance, they know who they could go to. And we're gonna actually judge the grievance in righteous judgment. In this world, there ain't no or go to the UN and make a complaint. What? Esau ain't gonna do nothing unless it benefits him. But in our kingdom, we're gonna actually be judges over the world. So if one nation goes and does something for another nation, guess what? Righteous judgment is gonna come down. Okay, you did this. All right, that means you killed this many people. All right, him have to die. You need to pay man 50 cattle. Boom, 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 and that's the final judgment. It's over. And so that's going to mean where people ain't even going to really want to transgress because they know you ain't going to get away with nothing. You do some foolishness, judgment's going to come down. So in our kingdom, there's not going to be no war. No, what we'll do is we'll fucking ferment this and fuck, it's this guy, man. The world police. He's a criminal. He's a warmonger. He needs the war. He needs chaos. We don't need that shit. We want peace so that man can get the pomegranates. You know what I mean? Our kingdom ain't gonna be like that, man. Really, that's a true civilized world where order and judgment and truth and justice prevails. That's true civilization, man. When the same one law everyone's gonna have. And that's gonna be, and everyone's gonna know that this law applies all the time and to everyone, and not sometime. Oh, okay, that's international law. But then man will go and break the international law, and then we're gonna have a talk about it on the TV, and then it's like you get the Israeli ambassador on there. I remember one time I was watching it, and they dropped white phosphorus on some people, right? And they showed the video, and she was like, I have to ask about that. But man's like, but we're showing you the video. You're dropping white phosphorus on women and children. Look, here's the child. They've been burnt. This is a transgression of the human rights violation. And she just was roundabout. Just doing mental gymnastics about it on TV. Nothing. Now, if that had been a country that they wanted to invade and destroy, then you already know that see, look, human rights violation. He's broken international law. So the world knows that you man will set up it's a double standard. You will set up a situation, but you'll only enforce it when you feel like enforcing it.
No one's a case of us.
But what does the Bible say? The Bible says you're not supposed to wrest judgment. You're not supposed to be like partial. Oh, well, yeah, it's all right when they do it, but if they do it over here, then I'm gonna come down because I can make some money out of this.
No righteous judgment.
Oh, I don't mind dictators over here because but then this dictator is wrong. Like, it shouldn't be a dictator. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Oh, we want democracy, but that man voted him in. We don't like him, so now we don't like democracy. It's just all confusion.
Oh, just one more verse, and I'll give that to you. Verse 7 says, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Right? So when this devil's out of power, the earth is going to be a lot better for it. And people, I say, people are going to recognize the fact that, man, Esau's been down treading these nations for forever, man. Right? And finally, this devil is not going to be in power no more because he's an unrighteous judge. He's an unrighteous ruler. Right? So the whole earth is going to be at rest. There's going to be no more war, like what you're saying. And so the earth is going to be at rest. Yeah. Go on. Awesome.
Yeah? I start Habakkuk 2, I start from verse 4. It says, behold, the soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Right, this is what we're trying to show you, man. Esau's never been right. He ain't never changed. He's always been the same. People want to believe that he somehow changed, and he advertises himself like he's changed. But he's always been the same. His goal is to be the devil. To take that which is not his. And to kill, Gittin. Right? It hasn't changed. Yep.
Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
This is his philosophies, his ideologies, what he do as thou will. I was reading Second Solomon, Songs of Solomon, chapter 2, right? And it gives you their ideology, how they think. They have right now they've been given the power. The earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, but they have power to do what they want on the earth now. And so all he wants to do with that power is abuse that power, right? And do things that are not expedient really in the grand scheme of everything. It's expedient for him that right now because he's gaining, he's on the top, he's winning. But ultimately, what does that lead him? To his own death and destruction. Right? So it's not only expedient what he's doing, but everyone looks to this guy like he's some great dude. And they all try to emulate that. That's why the world's full of wickedness.
Yep. Oh. And he says, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home.
Right? Again, because you're on top, you're proud. Right? Because you can go take and do what you want, you do. Right? That's why there's no place on earth where you're not at or where you're not involved in. You've got a homeland the Most High gave you, but you ain't there though. But you're everywhere else. You're everybody else's inheritance. No? Yep.
It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied.
This is like a parasitic disease, man. This is why the whole world is suffering, because Esau can't have enough. You're feeding, these elites, right? But they can't have enough, so they just drain and drain and drain. That's why people are poor. That's why there's no middle class anymore. That's why everybody else is struggling. It's not because of immigrants and all these things. Like, there's enough resources on the planet for everybody to be here. Right? And things can be shared, because I don't know, I woke up one morning, I don't know, I had this weird that kind of dream sometimes where, certain things just kind of click. Right? But like, if it wasn't for all these, these rich billionaires holding all the money, obviously everyone would be better off, right? And we wouldn't all have to be struggling. But they don't like living like that because they want more than they need. Like we've been going through, what's the need for having $1 billion? What are you going to spend it on? How many cars can you drive? How many managers do you need? Yeah, I get having, wanting a holiday home out of fucking England. It's just like days up there, it's just cold, today's not actually that bad. But, you might want to have that place in sunny Cyprus or something, it's always just nice, isn't it? I get that. But you don't need $1 billion and all these extra billions, and, you don't need to make other people poor. You're able to do that. Okay, but this is your method, this is your philosophy, because you like to see people downtrodden.
And cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Right? That's why you don't leave nobody alone. Nobody is left alone under you. Man. Like everyone will be quite happy just to stick with themselves and do what they're doing. Yeah, you might do a little bit of trade with this nation and or whatever, but Esau really doesn't want to leave nobody lost. Or you're not ruling your people right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or you need democracy. Because you want something out of that. Yeah. It's not because you care about the people and you want them to have your way of living because you think it's going to benefit them. Because look at democracy here. Who is it benefiting? It's not benefiting the elites. Democracy is not benefiting the common person. We just get the illusion that we have some part, some role to play in how well the country does or whatever. That's bullshit. No, none of us have any control. Right? But he's literally wanting to rule over all people and looking to get everything from everything he can from everybody's backyard. That's why he colonized the earth. And he might have we'll give it back. Hong Kong, you can have your team back, and the West, certain man of West, you can have your little team back. What are they doing? They're still serving you in your system.
Yeah.
So it's all bullshit, man. Esau's still the same oppressor that he's always been.
And he says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Again, none of this belongs to you, man. Yeah, the earth has been given into your hand, but these nations still have their inheritance, man. The Lord gave them. Who was above you? You don't get to say who what belongs to them, what don't belong to them. You just go around claiming shit. Oh, we want Greenland. we want Canada. Even though these things, they're only, they're other lands of the Israelites having possession, but the earth is ours, right? Because you weren't given certain lands that exist outside of of the Middle East region that it was given to. But like these places don't belong to you, man. It's not up to you what belongs to who. Right? You're not the authority in the earth. Right? That's why it's just about you putting yourself up as the Most High. Right? Because you want the power to decide and to operate without immunity, basically. Do what you want to do. Right? But there's a greater power than you. That only decides. Which you're gonna see him soon. Yep.
And it says, which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
Right? The thick clay is the debt. We live in this debt-based system. Right? And it really is like a twofold scripture, man, because the debt is just not a financial thing. Which we're more acquainted with. Right? But the blood you shed on the earth is a debt too. The blood of the Israelites is a debt. Because it has worth, it has value. And you've taken that. Right? We're the children of the Heavenly Father. You Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and all that descendants scattered around the world, man. We are property, we are valuables belonging to the Heavenly Father, treasures. And you've taken that. Now you can't how you gonna resolve that issue? How you gonna make that good with the Most High? You can't. That is too heavy for you to bear. And it's the same thing that Cain said back in the garden when he was cast out. The burden was greater than he could bear.
Yeah.
The judgment is too great. And this is why you're only going to be destroyed at the end of all of this, man. Because it's the only way that can be, the debts can be cancelled, man. If there's no debt, what you want to call it, that you don't exist no more.
That's very you mentioned Cain, because that's when Cain was starting to become like the victim. You know what I'm saying? After he was the one that murdered.
If I go out there, people are going to look to kill me,
all of that.
But that's what you deserve. You deserve more. But like the Most High has allowed this story to take place, man, to receive your ultimate judgment in this time. Right? The next 1,000 years is not going to be pleasant for you. Right? That is going to be some hellish experience that isn't going to be comparable. Right? But then to top it off, Most High is just going to get rid of you. Right? Cain does not have a seed in the earth or lineage or nothing. All other nations are going to have that. They're going to have their children, their generations come after them. But Esau, in the spirit of Cain, is not going to have that. You're not going to really see what this earth really could be. You're not going to benefit from the earth, to see it in its greatness. Right? But these heathens are even going to get to witness that. It's like, God, it's like we always say, like, we don't even know what real fruit tastes like. We've never really had that apple until we've had an apple in the kingdom, kind of thing. Because it's going to be completely different to what it is. Let's go ahead. Oh, it's calling me again. Oh, okay.
So you both read them?
Habakkuk 2. Read the last verse 6. This is, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that layeth himself with thick clay.
So we just got into that here.
Verse 7. Shall they not rise up sudden that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee?
That's why there's going to be another world war. right? The armies of the world, because the Most High says he's raising up the heathen, right?
Yeah.
To come against her in battle, right? So the whole world is going to turn against you, man. Right? Even your allies, you know, UK special relationship, you know, all these men that you're supposed to be close with, they're going to eventually, you know, say we've had enough of you, man. Had enough of America. But that doesn't in turn help Europe, because easy might see in you know, Europe's still going to go down. The Russians are still going to go down. There's going to be no Edomite contingency that's going to win out of this.
This is the end of all heathen rulership.
This is it.
And man, is it needed.
And you know how, you know why as well? Because obviously these heathens that are left over, they're not going to have no armies left over, because they're going to use those armies to fight against the Lord. That's going to be like them falling on their own sword, essentially, and in their own lives.
And the Lord gave them. You know, the Lord's fair. Lord's allowed all the heathens to try.
Have a little go. Yeah. See what you can do with it.
You know.
You do shit.
And right now, let's be real. None of what is the scripture says in Matthew, and they licked the wounds.
Oh,
Right, as you know, with the story about like dogs, and you know, Jake was at the bottom. These nations didn't care. In fact, when you read the book of Judah, right, basically they know that when Jake is in a low down, broken estate, that they can have some type of rulership.
well, the scripture also tells us, man, that our lovers, you know, these nations that we've been with in their idols, they have forsaken us, right? We was looking to them, you know, oh, you know, we was cool with you, why can't you ain't do nothing? You know, why can't you ain't helping us? And it's the same when we went into captivity, you know, the translated slave trade, what nation stepped in?
They all took a cut.
They all took a cut, right? They all benefited from it, right? The scripture tells you that they all kind of benefit from it, right? Because where was the UN then? Oh, there was no UN then. There was no, you know, there's none of these people ever stepped up to come to China to say, oh, that's wrong, or to come against Esau and deliver us. None of us did that. That's why I could say, no man shall buy you in Deuteronomy 28.
That word "buy" goes into the deep.
Yeah, see, the same, right? That's why we need a redeemer. That's why Yahushua is our redeemer, right? Because we're all waiting to be delivered out of our captivities, because that's where we are right now. You know, but then you heathens all had opportunities to do right and do this and do that, and you didn't do none of that. So you're also going to be punished as well. You know, and you can say, you know, going back to the whole, you know, this is the last rulership of the heathen, right? You might see these other nations like China and like getting into position like they're going to take over the world and shit, right? Because but how are you going to do that with no army?
And they're just going to be furthering the Edomite way of doing things, man.
Yeah, because more have turned like unto them.
Yeah. Because it's like, bro, you hear stories about China, man, bro. They've just built Babylon on steroids, man. Babylon with high tech.
Sweat up of the world, bro. You know what I mean? They're oppressive too. They're oppressive to their own people.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I was thinking about that one time. Because like mostly nations, you need slavery to build up a nation. Yeah. But China used their own people as the slaves. I was like, right, that's actually kind of fucked still. They actually use their own
but it'll turn into the same thing. Yeah. When China, you know, China got into the same position, blah blah blah, right? The Chinese people standard will go up because they're ruling, and then they'll start to outsource again to poorer nations. That, you know, the whole thing will just go again, and they'll move away from you know, their own people being in slave labor like to that level, and they'll just hire other people to do that slave labor. You know, well, I guess things will change for the technological world and that, but they will just go follow the same kind of blueprints.
They're building the NWO too.
That's right.
Because it's was it Xiaomi, XIAOMI, something like that. So they would go over here, they just sell their phones, but in China they sell cars, and it's like they have a Xiaomi factory which is basically all automated, right? So you just basically have a room of like the overseers, if you will. Right, and then the rest of the factory is referred to as a dark factory because there's no one there, right? So the point being is like if that's what they're starting to build, they've already been like, what, we don't need people.
But then, like, we know in the East, in China, they got bear man.
Yeah,
bear man. Yeah. So what they do all these bear man? Yeah. Obviously they're gonna cut them off. Essentially, they'll do something. It's like the rest of the world, like these Edomites do. It's the same thing.
I mean, that was a country that basically said one child policy. Yeah. And then now they're hurt from it because this is it. You need children. Esau has pushed that idea of a family is evil, which family be expensive. But Esau pushed the idea that family is evil. No, a society needs a good pyramid in terms of like age. Because right now, China's pyramid is like that.
It goes back to balance.
Yeah.
These people don't know balance because they don't follow the laws, man. That's why the Israelites, when they're in power, are here to establish the laws, man, to keep balance in the earth. You know, we're waiting for that rule, that ruler that will that benefit us, right?
Yeah.
You know, so that's what we need, man. And as I said, he saw his time nearing, man. These people are going to forsake him and come up against him to destroy him, right? At the end of that,
A little bit more, one more verse.
yeah, sure. Can't.
So then awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for beauties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations.
There you go. So it's all going to come back around on you, man. You can't say like you didn't do nothing and you don't deserve it. So here in the scriptures, man. You know, that's it.
All the remnant of a people shall spoil thee because of men's blood, and for the violence of a land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein.
All right, so there you go, man. So now we're gonna close up on that. They giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Dash. Until next time, shalom, man.
Shalom, 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 shalom.